Peace, y'all. Before we start this episode of Real Notes, I wanted to let you know that my first book ever, Real Notes Culture Writing on the Margins of Music and Movies, is out right the fuck now. That shit feels so crazy to say. About 2-ish years ago, my good homie Austin Williams approached me about writing a primer on the worlds of digital journalism, criticism, and how they interact for his journalism students, and naturally, I jumped at the opportunity. This book is part autobiography, part journalism textbook, and part essay collection spotlighting some of my earlier work, particularly from my old stomping grounds over at djbooth.net. This industry has always been unstable, but with layoffs and general consolidations happening at publications all over, this book feels more pertinent now than it did while I was writing it. And while it may be for students, anyone who's a fan of writing, music, film, and this podcast, of course, will appreciate it. The book is only available digitally through the Kindle app and through the Amazon link below. So go to Amazon, search for Real Notes Culture Writing on the Margins of Music and Movies, and just add that shit to your collection, man. No, you don't need to have a Kindle in order to read the book. Either download the Kindle app or you can access it through the Amazon one-click link. So many people have been asking me, like, you don't need to own a Kindle. I promise I wouldn't do that to y'all. Just, like, grab the book if you can, if you're able. Good looks if you can. I really appreciate your support and consideration. It means the world. Now let's get back to talking. What's good, y'all? My name is Dylan Green, and this is Real Notes, a space dedicated to blurring the cultural and artistic lines between rap and film. I'm here to chop it up with everyone from rappers and producers to journalists and video directors about their relationship to movies and how, if at all, film inspires their craft. My guests this week are New Jersey rapper OneShotOnce and producer Driveby. We spoke about Quiet on Set, Loudermilk, Dune 2, Mystic River, Love Lies Bleeding, Bound, their respective come-ups in Jersey, what they have to offer to the Jersey scene and rap at large, the beginning of their creative partnership, and the process behind their two projects, 4-wheel drive and 6-wheel drive. Come fuck with us. What's cracking, everybody? Welcome back. Real Notes. What time is it? It's 7:48. It's been a long time since I've recorded one of these at night, but these two dudes I got with me are incredibly special, and we move on very special and unique time as individuals and as a trio and as friends. I'm talking too much. My name's Dylan Green, CineMasai. I got a lot of names, do a lot of shit, outside, inside, all sides, all places. Happy to be back. I haven't recorded one of these in like a month and a half. So I got back in the groove and then lost it a bit, but I'm back. And I'm with two people who are incredibly special, been tight for a while. They put out a really, really, really fantastic short little 8-track 6-wheel drive project. Jersey's finest, fucking Jersey City, Hoboken. Please stand up if y'all could hear this. But fucking but we got fucking OneShotOnce and Driveby, also on Driveby. 6-wheel drive is out now on Fused Arrow Records. It's everywhere you can hear music. Buy a tape, support the homies. Y'all, thank you so much for being here. It means the world.
Yo, thank you, bro.
Thank you for having us here, man. It's a pleasure.
Nah, man. It's like I told y'all off camera, like this has been a long time coming. Like, you know, like we've been running together for probably like the last like 3-4 years, and it's been great to build and develop and like see y'all grow. And like I think we're gonna talk about this more later, but like 6-wheel drive is such a like considering how much y'all have grown. I think 6-wheel drive is a great timestamp and a really great like sampler for everything the both of y'all are capable of, and just like all that you do. But to start things off proper, I want to ask you the first question I ask everybody who comes on here, which is what was the last movie or TV show y'all watched that you had a strong opinion about? Drivey look crazy just now, so it's gonna be a wild answer.
That's probably a lot for him.
Yeah, I watch a lot, so like I'll tell you the last 3 shows I watched.
Let's go. Come on.
It happened like in like one night. So all right, the last 3 days I've been binging Hoarders. Yeah, straight Hoarders. And then like before that I was watching what's the Dan Schneider shit? Quiet on Set.
Oh, Quiet on Set.
Yeah.
That's funny, man.
I watch some pretty dark stuff sometimes. Like it's just like,
Hey, man.
I was watching that too, though.
yeah, like I was like, damn, this guy's an asshole for this.
Yeah, no, I was about to say I haven't watched any of it yet. I haven't gotten around to it, but like how did y'all like it? Like was Nickelodeon of that era an important part of your childhood and it got destroyed that night or what?
So I mean, it didn't get destroyed for me because like it's like I kind of like they it's Holly weird. It's fucking Disney just known for doing bullshit like that. Like it's like
Yeah, true.
I feel like the only company that hasn't like been like outcasted. I mean, not outcasted. That hasn't been like brought to the light for is like Cartoon Network.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
talking about that the other day.
Yeah.
Cartoon Network is technically GOAT status now.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? like you don't hear any stories about them doing bullshit. Like they just doing cartoons and they don't really have live action shows like that. So it's like,
And guess what? It's adults making the shows around adults.
yes,
You know what I mean?
that's
It's
true.
adults creating with adults making these shows.
So there's no fuck shit going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that we know of, but
That,
hopefully
that is true. That is true.
hopefully it stays that way. I know like one or two people is gonna come to me with an article. Leave kids alone, don't hurt children. That's not cool. Dan Schneider, fuck you. I'm gonna say it on camera.
Sir.
Fuck that guy.
Words are fucked
fuck Dan Schneider. Fuck John Kay, who created Ren and Stimpy, because John Kay is a fucking piece of shit.
He is.
Yeah.
What's crazy is that's my favorite cartoon, but I hate the fact that like it's made by that piece of shit.
I know. I was just talking to Desiree about this 2-3 days ago. I'm so upset. I think about it often, and it's just fuck him, fuck them. But how is Quiet on Set? Like how how is it just generally?
So like the only big star they got there like that comes out and tells their story is Drake Bell.
Right.
So like, and I feel bad for the shit he went through, but he also got caught with that doing some Me Too bullshit.
Yeah,
so, like,
yeah, no. I saw the trial because they had him on like Zoom trial. I was watching. I saw the video of it.
So like he's also like under the pedophilia thing, but like one thing I'll say is like he did come out and take responsibility, but like it's like that's not enough, bro. Like you still did some fuck shit, but I feel like that's the reason why he told this story. So it's like he can kind of like come out and like, I guess like I don't know what's the word I'm looking for.
Well, try to cover up.
Not cover up, like a pity party. If I'm trying to say it's like
yeah.
I'm not trying to exclude the shit that happened to him because the shit that happened to him was fucked up.
Yeah.
But it's like it's no excuse for you to like do it to someone else just because it happens to you. But
right.
It was interesting seeing him talk, and then they had like some of the All That cast on there,
right?
Talking.
So you said you didn't see it, right?
No, but the crazy thing is, I read about because like I think Variety published all the Drake Bell stuff in like they wrote like a Spark Notes of it. So I read what happened, and I was like, yeah, I don't think I need to watch this shit. I think I'm cool. I think I'm cool. I'm gonna watch it at some point, but
it's definitely bugged out. You feel bad for Amanda Bynes, heavy. I'll tell you that. Like I feel totally bad for that woman. Like
yeah, just
I didn't even get to that part because I only honestly watched like just a few episodes, and then I was just like, all right, this is getting to be a lot.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
but that for me at least, that wasn't like that might have been like the show that impacted him recently, but a show that impacted he actually put me onto the shit. Have you heard of Loudermilk?
Loudermilk is fire.
I don't know what the fuck that is. Tell me what it is.
What? It's just hilarious.
It's on Netflix. It's what is it? So it's a sober guy that used to be a heavy alcoholic, but he runs like those A&A group meetings.
Okay.
But he's like super crazy blunt. Like he'll just say shit to your face like and not give a fuck.
Yeah, like it's super out of pocket. Like
very out of pocket.
But the guy, ironically enough, he was like he was a writer, right? Like
he was a music critic. Yeah,
that's what it was.
Yeah. He was a writer for like I don't know if it was like Rolling Stones or something. There was something big like that in the show. He was a writer for like a big art, like a big magazine like that, and he just like he would critique music, but he would take his critique skills into life way too much.
Yeah, like he was running AA meetings and shit, and just like like trying to help people with their lives, but like it's basically like just being super blunt on some like, listen, man, you got to get your fucking life together. Like,
Yeah,
Right.
it's Ron Livingston from
That's his name.
from Office Space.
Oh, crazy. Okay.
Yeah, and then like the side actor or supporting actor is Will Sasso.
Well, damn.
Yeah.
I can't remember I can remember the last time I thought about Will Sasso. The last time I thought about Will Sasso was Vine. Because
Oh
like he did like
wow.
the he did
Oh, he
like the
was
shit
doing
where he
the
was like spitting
oranges.
like
Yeah, you're
yeah,
right.
like
When he was doing the orange videos.
that's the last time I thought about Will Sasso. So it's been like 10 years, maybe even closer to 15 at this point.
Yeah, dude. Before I mean not hoarders. I'm stuck on the shows. Before the orange shit, the last time I saw him, it was either like an old stand up that I saw like on YouTube or maybe Mad TV.
That's what I think about immediately, Mad TV.
Yeah, but that's a really good show. Loudermilk. It's on Netflix now. It used to only be a direct TV show. So
Yeah.
you had to have direct TV cable in order to watch it on this channel called Audience.
Uh-huh.
And that's the only way you could watch the show. And I that's how I remember it, because when I saw it on Netflix, I was like, oh, they got Loudermilk here. And I was so spooked. And I was like, and I got to, because I never got to watch the whole like 2 seasons.
Right.
So like now it's on Netflix, and I was like, yes, I fucking love it. I fell in love with it. And then
So how
I told him about it, and he fucking loved it.
damn, how old is it? Must be like
Uh,
yeah.
it gotta be like 2009, 2010, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe earlier than that.
Isn't
I don't
it more
know.
recent?
Nah, Loudermilk. Like check on your phone. Like, I know Loudermilk. When I was watching that shit, I just got out of college, and that was like around like
Uh
2011.
it looks like 2017.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I'm
October,
tripping.
October
I'm
yeah,
tripping. Yeah,
no, October
2017.
2017. Wow.
But yeah, I used to watch that on there like a lot, and then we got rid of DirecTV, and I could never watch it again.
Damn. And now you
That
got it.
Yeah, but that channel was fire, audience, because not only they would show that show, they had these things called Guitar Center sessions,
Uh-huh.
and they would literally like have like one of the ones I remember, they had Soundgarden do a performance in like
Oh
one of
shit.
those like do like in Guitar Centers like whatever like venue, and then after the performance they interview you. So like in the same spot. So like it would just be like you watch like a whole like it would be like an hour and a half long. You watch a performance and then you watch the Guitar Center like person interviewing the artist. So
Yeah.
like I used to love watching that because they used to also do Guitar Center drum offs too. But
Wow.
yeah, dude. But movie, just to get back to your questions, I just saw Dune Part 2.
Okay. How'd you feel about Dune Part
I knew you were gonna say.
I loved it.
Because Reef and I saw it. Reef thought it was great. I thought it was just fine. Tell me why you loved it.
I haven't seen it.
I loved it, man. Like I felt like they changed some things that are in like from the book, but I think they did a good job the way they
Mhm.
changed it. Like for instance, like when Baron gets stabbed, it's not Paul, it's supposed to be his sister that does
Mm.
it. And it would have looked weird as hell on film, just like a baby or an infant coming out stabbing Baron.
I mean, that shit would have had me dying, honestly.
I
Just
mean,
like a
yeah,
baby.
like
Yeah.
cinematography people, they would have been like, "This is dumb. They made this look stupid right now." So it made sense. Like what, like for
Yeah.
like that change, I was okay with. I'm like, okay, this is actually cooler that Paul stabs him and says like what did he say? Hello, grandfather, something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Hello, grandfather. And then he's just like, that's
Yeah.
that's Stellan Skarsgård. I don't know why I forgot about that, but he was you remember why am I forgetting son's name? He was like the European like physicist in the Avengers movies, like the really like the older dude with like the really thick the really thick European act. I forget where he's from. I'm saying European. But either way, like that's who the grandfather is.
Oh
Like,
shit, really?
yeah, no, he's been in a bunch of, like, I'm mad that I can't remember what else. Hang on, I'm gonna look it up now that I'm sitting in, I'm like sitting in front of a computer. So Stellan Skarsgård on the Dune movies, he was in Thor, he was, who was he in Pirates of the Caribbean? Breaking the Waves. He's done a lot of crazy shit, but he's a great actor, and it was cool to see him pop up in Dune
Yeah.
2. But I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. Dune 2 is fire. Hans Zimmer's scoring was crazy in that movie.
Yeah.
Like I really loved the scoring. Zendaya was fire in there too.
Yeah. I'm happy she like got stuff to do, because like
Yeah.
she had nothing to do in the last one.
So,
Yeah,
but see, like that's why I kind of liked some of these changes, because if you read the book, she's not really like an important. Like she's important, but not crazy important. Like she's like kind of like in the background. Like Paul just like gets her pregnant and that's it.
Right.
But like in this one, like they actually gave her more things to do, like more of a voice. And I was like, this is fire. I like this change. So it's like little changes that, like, that's what I'm saying. Like if you're gonna change something, like make it look fire. Don't make it look like on some bullshit where it's like one of the things I would say is like Avatar for Netflix, the new live action. It's like it's
Oh no.
high budget, low effort.
Mm-hmm.
Like they just changed so much, and it's like, and they didn't do it in a like nice, classy way. It's like what I'm saying is like, at least like with Dune, like they actually put some thought into it. It's like
Right.
if we're gonna change this, like let's do it like in a nice, like artistic way. So
Yeah.
that's why I fucked with the part two. What else did I like? I love the voice. They like the moments when they were using the voice.
Mm-hmm.
Like the one scene I started dying, bro, is when he silenced one of the Reverend Mothers, and
Yeah.
she's like abomination. And I
Yeah,
was
no,
crying.
yeah, no, I can't front. That shit had me dead. Mostly because I don't know if either of y'all have read a comic or watched a show called Preacher before.
Yeah, yeah,
But
dude.
yeah, it just reminded me of like Jesse Custer and The Word. So like
Oh, that's
it's
fire! I
like,
didn't even think of that. That's crazy.
so, cause like there's two moments. Like there's one moment like when he goes to the KKK rally where he like tells somebody to literally shit themselves, and then they just like shit themselves. It's great. And then like he like looks at a bunch of people and gets real mad and just tells them to burn, and they just like all light on fire.
Dude,
Preacher's so crazy,
Preacher's
man.
wild, dude. And my boy put me onto that because he gave me that graphic novel, and then he gave me Why the Last Man.
Why the Last Man's
That's
insane.
a crazy ass fucking story. Like
Yeah.
they apparently they made a live action show for it. I haven't seen it
It was ass, bro. That
yet.
it didn't even it didn't even make it the whole season. I was so mad it wasn't good, because
That's
like
it.
Why the Last Man is one of my favorite
It's a
like
good ass
pieces of
story.
yeah, it's one of my favorite pieces of literature I've ever read. Like forget like a graphic novel, whatever. Like it's one of like the best books I've ever read in my life. It's incredible.
You ever heard of it?
Um
So he's pretty much the last man on Earth, and there's and the rest of the population is female.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
then
so yeah, like everyone with a Y chromosome just dies.
yeah,
Like
So,
and you're like even like all the sperm, all the babies, like every creature on Earth with a Y chromosome just dies. And
yeah,
this one guy's the last man left. So like just like all so the only other people left are women, and he teams up with I think like a secret agent and a doctor, and they're trying to get from New York to California, and
yep,
they gotta walk slash like drive the whole thing because there's no car. I mean, there's
yeah,
cars, but they're not like around. There's no planes, so it's
yeah,
just like them traveling the whole world trying to like find the cause of the whole thing. And he has a monkey. His monkey's name
yeah.
is Ampersand. It's just tight.
It's almost like an apocalyptic kind of like vibe too.
Yeah, big
Isn't
time.
his mom the president too?
His mom becomes the president. She's
Yeah,
like I think she might have been like 20th in command or some shit, and like enough people die in the line of command that she becomes president after all the men die.
Yes.
So like she's just like the de facto president. So like it's crazy. It's super dope.
It's dope as hell. That's one of my favorite stories. That story is wild, dude. Yeah, because if they find out you a man, it's like you're either dead or you're gonna like be taken like in custody, like into like jail or something.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, dude.
Or
like,
or they farm you out.
Yeah.
That's how they did. That's how they did it. It book is tight. It's really really cool.
Yeah,
But before I forget, so I didn't love the first Dune. I thought it was kind of boring. I've read the book, but it's
slow.
I've read the book, but it's been so long. I don't remember. Like, I watched the second one. I love the intro sequence, like just like the flying suits and the whole action shit they do at the beginning. Looks cool, sounds cool. Like what's it called? We saw it in IMAX. It was dope.
Yeah,
I loved
me
it.
too.
and then like the rest of the movie happens, and like it's cool, but to me, I left feeling like the director, I feel like he watched the Chronicles of Riddick and then like binged Destiny 2 for 6 hours and then was like, I want to make a movie about this. You know, like it just like didn't it's weird because I wanted it to be weirder. Like I know like Dune has the capacity to be weirder, but they just kind of did like the dark minimal Game of Thrones thing with it, and I'm kind of like tired of that whole aesthetic.
I know what you're saying. Like they could have been more sci-fi with it.
Yeah, but I get it because we already like David Lynch already did that with his, and I don't know if either of y'all have seen the documentary that Alejandro Jodorowsky made about like his version of Dune. I think it's literally called Jodorowsky's Dune.
I've heard about this one actually. I haven't seen it, but I heard about it.
Like it's like this one's heavy on the story and less about like the psychedelic imagery of it. Yeah. His version is like heavy on the psychedelic imagery and light on the story. And I like it's not fair to compare it to that because like it didn't get made and this is trying to be its own thing, and I respect that. I thought it was fine. I left almost as confused as I was when I came in.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it. It was cool to watch. I'd watch it again. Watching him tame the worm was super dope.
Yeah. But I have a question about the worm. How the fuck they get 40 people on the worm?
Oh, I don't know, bro.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
He could barely fit himself on the
That's
first
what I'm saying. Like you see him like jump on the first worm and he's like falling and like tumbling and going crazy. And I'm like, how they get like 40 people on here? And how they get how they get the Reverend Mother up there with the tent? Like
right.
Like I kept thinking about that the whole time when I seen it, like a squad of them on a worm. Because you can't like stop them motherfuckers and climb on it. You have to like jump on them.
It breaks. Like
the other thing I would say about Dune, damn, what was it? I just forgot. The fighting was really good.
Yeah, I like the last fight scene in particular with the two cousins fighting with Timothy Chalamet and who's the other guy? I know I've seen him in some shit. I can't remember.
I forgot his name too. He plays the Sting character from the 1980s version.
The guy with the orange hair. I love David Lynch's version. I know a lot of people don't.
Yo, Lynch doesn't even like his version.
I know, but I like it, man. It's I don't know.
He said, "Take me off the credits."
and it's because it's not like I think they like changed it to the point where he was like, this doesn't feel like my movie anymore because they wanted to like it was like done through a big studio. Like I get it, but I like it.
That's what happened. That's what happened with The Last Airbender. The writer was like, you guys are like kind of like botching this shit, and he just left like in the middle of the season.
Nasty.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah, that's why I said.
Yeah, no, like I'm not even touching that. Like, fuck that shit.
The ship was king and he just dipped.
Yeah, it's like what more can you do? Fuck it, get the Viacom money and then bounce.
Yeah, fuck it, why not? Son, before we move on, also, what's the last thing you watched that you had a strong opinion about?
Ooh, yeah. Movie wise.
See, I've been like cycling back to movies I haven't seen since like I guess you could say like my younger days. Like one as an example, I just rewatched Mystic River.
Oh shit.
That was pretty wild.
That's tough.
That's the one where they're in Boston, right?
Yeah,
And that's with
Sean Penn.
Sean Penn, and who's the other is Robert De Niro that or no?
Nah, not De Niro.
Who's the other big name?
Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon. There you go.
There
Kevin
it is.
Bacon,
Yeah.
and there's like a third dude that's big in there. The dude from Jacob's Ladder. What's his name?
Yeah.
Oh, Tim Robbins.
Yes.
Okay, yeah,
That's the other big name. That's what I was getting fucked up with.
I love Jacob's Ladder, by the way. Great movie.
Yo, that is a good ass movie.
Yeah, that's one I gotta cycle back and watch again. Like, so yeah, I've been rewatching like a lot of old shit, like just because it's fun to rewatch old shit.
Yeah,
because especially when you completely forget, you're like, I remember this being like good. I gotta watch this shit again. You know?
So how'd you feel about like A, how long's it been since you've seen Mystic River? B, how'd you feel about it now?
I feel like I saw it when it like came out. That was the last time I seen it. Not
so that was like,
not to say I saw it in the theaters. Like, well, I was big on Blockbuster.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that was the last time I saw that. It was like when it came out, really.
There's like I haven't seen it since around the time it came out either. Like I remember seeing the trailer I used to be on Apple movie trailers heavy, like when I was in school. Like that's where like all like the new movies, like I would waste time during the day just like watching all the new movie trailers for every big small movie. Like that's just what I did. And like that was like there's a scene, there's an episode of American Dad where Roger is like disguised as Stan, and he's like reenacting a scene from Mystic River on the plane. The scene where bro's like, "Is that my daughter in there?" Like he's trying to like get people. He's trying to get people to hold him back.
No, that's like, crazy. Is that my daughter? That's crazy.
that whole because like he disguises himself as like a little girl. No, he disguises. It doesn't matter. But but I haven't seen Mystic River in a while. And every time I like every once in a while I just do like I go on like heavy American Dad binges. I love American Dad.
That's way better than Family Guy in my opinion.
Way better than Family Guy. Easy. Like easy. But anyway, but yeah, like every time I see that I'm like I gotta go back. I gotta go run Mystic River back. It's been a long time. And before we move on to the next question, just like on the topic of like running back old stuff you haven't seen in a while, I watched y'all ever hear of a movie called Bound before with Gina Gershon and Jennifer Tilly? It's from I think it's from 96.
Damn, I don't think I've seen this.
He said Tilly, and I'm just like, I feel like I know what fucking movie he's talking about. I'm gonna have to circle back to that one too. I don't remember that one.
So Bound is Gina Gershon and Jennifer Tilly are like Gina Gershon's an ex-con who's working for Jennifer Tilly's boyfriend, who's like he's like a money launderer for the mob. And like the two of them, like they fall on what's it called? Gina Gershon and Jennifer Tilly fall in love. They have a love affair. They decide that they want to run this dude for like this $2 million of blood money, and the whole thing is just like them trying to get this con off on the boyfriend, and it works. Ultimately, like they wind up together, and like I had seen it. Must have been like either like right before college or it might have been right before college, but I decided to rewatch it because I saw Love Lies Bleeding last weekend with Kristen Stewart, and like it's like you could tell, or like I could tell that like the influence was really in there. Like and like I looked it up and they said that was like a huge influence on the movie. It was like that and Showgirls, which
really Showgirls?
Yeah, no, like
which is most overacting ever.
Showgirls is a wild movie. It's like I
still enjoy watching it, but the overacting is crazy.
It's wild, son. It's because and it's wild because Bound is the movie that Gina Gershon made after Showgirls, and like everybody thought Gina Gershon's career was over. Like we all know, everybody hated Showgirls. It's like it like goes down as like one of the a lot of people still hate that movie, and like it's not good, but like
it's fun to watch.
It.
That's what I'm saying. It's one of those bad movies you just like enjoy watching because it's funny. Like
exactly.
It's like, dude, like when she overacts with the dancing, or like when she gets upset.
Yeah, that
like,
movie's so loose.
I just be like, yo, you're like, this is just hilarious. Like the acting is so bad right now.
Yo, but like,
and the dude that's trying to like hit on her the whole time, like, he's too much.
Yeah, no, that movie's crazy. But Bound is so much better. It's like an erotic thriller and like a queer erotic thriller too. Like, and like those weren't really popping at that time. And fun fact, it's the first movie that the Wachowski siblings made before they made The Matrix, because The Matrix came out.
Shit, you serious?
Yeah, no, because The Matrix came out in 99 and that came out in 96. That was like their first movie ever. And then after that they made The Matrix. And you can see some of like their techniques from early on, and just like some of like the themes they like, it's all there. So it's like if you can find it, like that was one that I hadn't seen. It's tight. It's a really tight erotic crime thriller. And like like Love Lies Bleeding, if you can find that too, with the Kristen Stewart movie, is also like an erotic crime thriller, and they're both dope. Like I like them both a lot.
Yeah, we gotta check out Bound now. That's like I love the Wachowski sisters. Like they make good movies.
Yeah, no, they're great.
Yeah, dude. I remember I kind of like blew my homie's mind when I told him like about like the real reason behind the Matrix. And he was like, "Nah, bro, stop fucking with me." I was like, "Bro, there's a whole YouTube video where they interview her about it."
Yeah,
and then I showed it to him. He was like, "I don't believe this." He was like, "This is clickbait shit. Fuck out of here." And I was like, "Bro, you're bugging." I was like, "Get out of here." I was like, "This is the real story."
Right. Like it was like there before they transitioned, and then they were like, "This has always been." I don't know, man. They're dope. I like them. Like I don't want to go on too much of a tangent, but like I know like some of their bigger movies people aren't huge on, like Cloud Atlas and like Jupiter Ascending. I love Cloud Atlas. I know a lot of people don't like it. Like
I thought it was good.
I have my issues with it, but I really love, like, as an experience. That's one I haven't seen since college either. But like when I watched it, I was like, this is really dope. Like I saw the vision. I love the ambition, and like it's a little much sometimes, but as a movie, I liked it. Like I know people like to joke on it. I like it, but I just like them. Like they dream big. They dream big, and I just want more people to like dream big, even if it doesn't all work. Like just to be able to like hit the like it's
like resetting the bar.
Yeah, like it's like, even though like almost kind of unrelated, but like I didn't love the last Kendrick album. I thought Mr. Morale was kind of a snooze and a little all over the place. But I appreciate the fact that he tried to do that, because the next person who does will make it better.
That's true.
How I feel.
No, I'm kind of there with you too, because I like Damn better than Mr. Morale. Like Mr. Morale's not terrible. It's not like it's it's Kendrick. Kendrick always makes fire. But me personally, like I had more fun with Damn.
Yeah.
And I also had more fun with To Pimp a Butterfly. Like that's still like, I feel like that's gonna like be like a hard album for him to top.
Definitely.
Like, and that sucks, dude, because that happens to a lot of great artists. Like one of my favorite bands is fucking, or not even bands, or groups or whatever, Gorillaz.
Oh yeah.
And they have never topped Demon Days.
Ever. Like, how could you? Like that album's a classic.
Like it's like
it's too good.
It's really hard when you make like a dope ass album. It's like your magnum opus. It's like, yo, like how can you top this? And it's like they try for years, and it's like, and it's not saying like they don't suck or anything.
It's just, like they still made fire, but like as far as like a whole project, like
exactly. Like I love Plastic Beaches, but it's not better than Demon Days.
It's sometimes some days it's pretty close though. I love Plastic Beach, bro.
Yeah.
Plastic Beach. I wore the shit out of Plastic Beach when it came out the first time. So
That was a crazy album, but like again, it's not better than Demon Days. It's like
I get it. It's not. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, son.
and
Damn.
that's unfortunate with certain artists. I hate when that happens because it's like because I want you to be great because
Right.
you're awesome you like you're not ass like you always reset the bar, but it's like you reset the bar so high this time. It's like you can't even reach it at this point.
Right. You know, like then you become Nas and you're like everybody's asking
Damn.
when you where the next Illmatic's coming from, you know?
Coming crazy.
Damn, so you feel like since Illmatic he hasn't like at least like
No. That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's not what I'm saying. I know.
I was because there's a couple albums after that.
Yeah, no. So I only say that because I know that's like the general consensus for a lot of people. I feel like everybody can agree that like Illmatic is a classic album. True. And there are a lot of people, I'm not one of them, but there's a lot of people who feel like Nas never made, maybe not, I don't know that he made another like bona fide classic after that, but like there's plenty of great albums. Yo, my fault, sorry to interrupt, but I just wanted to shout out the all new Real Notes Patreon page real quick. If you're looking for ways to connect and directly support the podcast, the Real Notes Patreon is the best way to do so. For as little as $5 a month, you can gain early day before access to every forthcoming episode of Real Notes, as well as an invite to the Real Notes Discord server, where you can talk to others about the latest and greatest in movies and music, come through for some listening sessions, and talk about whatever else is on your mind. I know I'm gonna be talking a bunch. If you feel like coming up off a little bit more, you could get cool exclusive content like audio from Real Notes Live and Real Talk interviews. Those will be exclusive to patrons and ticket holders moving forward. Access to retro versions of my 60-second Minute Maid movie reviews, and even a monthly writing and podcasting workshop hosted by me. Regular episodes will still be available on a weekly basis anywhere you get your podcasts, but if you want the extras, you gotta come out them pockets a bit. Check us out at patreon.com/realnotes. That's REELNOTES. I appreciate your consideration and support more than you know. Now let's get back to talking. And there was a point where like Illmatic was just kind of like like I remember like around the 20th anniversary, you could tell that he was kind of like just doing it because it's like, oh, it's 20th anniversary, I gotta do a thing for Illmatic.
Yeah.
You know, it's anyway, that's a whole other conversation.
I feel you. I definitely feel you on that because that's a long conversation. Because I love Godson a lot.
Yeah, I love Godson. I love Stillmatic, and I love Nostradamus. I'm sorry, not Nostradamus. I don't love Nostradamus.
It was written.
It was written. There we go.
That's a really good one. It was written.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. No. What? And then whatever album Nas is like. I was on I Am, right? I'm pretty sure.
I Am was cool too. I fucked with that.
I wasn't huge on the whole album, but Nas is like is my favorite Nas song ever. That isn't like One Love or The World Is Yours.
For me, my favorite
or Do Rags from the Lost Tape. I'm sorry.
That's a good one too.
Yeah, I love that song.
If I had to pick like, yeah, it's tough because it's two songs that I really love that I'll put them as like my favorite Nas songs. It's Rewind or
Rewind is crazy.
Rewind is a crazy ass concept, bro. Like, yeah. The fact that like I feel like he's the first rapper to do that, like to ever like spit a story from the end to the beginning, and like one of my favorite lines, he says something about like the bra straps back on her chest, watching vomiting vodka back in the glass. He like I was like, what? Like that's fucking insane. Like. And then when and I'm like fucking like 13 trying to figure like why would you vomit vodka? I'm like, oh, it's like and I was like, dumbass, rewind. But I'm by the way, I suck at reciting lyrics, so I probably butchered that whole thing.
Nah, you're good, bro. I don't even remember most of the lyrics from Rewind, so you're better than me right now.
But that's one of my favorite bars, and when he talks about vomiting the vodka back in the glass, and I'm like, that was crazy. Like that song inspired me to like, because I used to write poetry before I started taking beats heavy. Yeah. I wrote that inspired me to write my version of Rewind, and it was dumb as hell. It was like a lot of pot headlines. But my other favorite Nas song would be Book of Rhymes.
Also a good one.
Yeah.
Damn. I got to think about what my others would be, but there's so many. But before we get too distracted, what's the first movie experience that both of y'all can remember having? It could be at the theater, it could be at your cousin's house. The very first. It doesn't have to be the very first one, but the first one that comes to mind for you.
You want to go first?
Movie experience.
I got a good one.
I mean, when you said that, the first thing that came to mind, like random as fuck, by the way. The Mummy 2.
Ooh, let's go. Tell me
And-
about it.
And that was because in Hoboken, like we had an old movie theater, and when I mean it was an old movie theater, it was they only had 2 showings, like 2 different movies. You either went left or right, and like
A 2-screener, yeah, bro.
The seats weren't even made out of cushion, dog. They were made out of wood.
Yeah, they were like old
stadium seats.
Yeah, they were like old, like auditorium or like stadium seats. Damn, that shit sucked watching a movie. I remember that.
Yeah, it would hurt after a while. But I remember that movie, and I just remember that shit being crazy as fuck. Like when I first saw that.
Damn, The Mummy Returns. I haven't thought about that. One. Was that the one? Was that the one with the Scorpion King, or did they make a third one? And I just forgot about it. I think
Scorpion King was the third one.
Okay. Because see,
was it or am I wrong?
The Scorpion King, I think, was its own flick, but no, he was. I think he was introduced there because if I remember now, I think the kid had that gold scorpion thing on his arm.
Yeah, I'm looking. Okay. I'm looking at it. The Scorpion King popped up in the second one, and then they made a solo spin-off Scorpion King movie. So I remember this.
Wasn't that low key The Rock's like first film like ever? I think
it was one of his first, definitely. Like that was around the time.
I remember the Rundown. Was it the Rundown?
The Rundown, yeah. I remember the
after that.
And it was one of the. I just remember the first 3 was like Scorpion, the Rundown, and then there was another one. Not the Gridiron Gang. It was like another movie like the Rundown. I forgot the name of it.
Oh, Southland Tales.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
South is ass, bro. Southland Tales is terrible. But I remember. Yeah, I remember. So so Mummy Returns was The Rock's first movie ever, and then like the Rundown and Southland Tales, and he was in this movie Be Cool. You ever see Be Cool?
Yes. Yeah, yes. I think Be Cool's funny as hell. Bro.
Be Cool's crazy. You know what's crazy? He showed me the first movie before Be Cool.
Get Shorty. Yeah,
I never knew about that.
Get Shorty's great.
And he put me on to. I was like, "What the hell is he?" He's like, "Bro," he goes, "You seen Be Cool and not seen this?" I was like, "Nah." Like, bro, I remember we just sat there that whole night just smoking J's, watching that shit. I was like, "This is crazy right now."
I got a story for y'all because I went to go see Be Cool with my dad and a bunch of friends for my birthday the year it came out. We made it 20 minutes in and we walked out.
Nah,
we all hated it. I haven't seen it since, and that's another one that I gotta go back and give another shot. But we all hated it. Like everybody, I mean, like all my friends were like, "This is whack. We don't want to watch this." And I look at my dad, and he's like, "We could leave if y'all want." We were not feeling that shit. We were not feeling that shit at all. I want to try it again because, like, but once again, I saw the trailer. I was like I was like, I want to see this movie specifically. We walked out, bro. I'll never forget it. It was at Cinema 23 in Verona. RIP has been gone for 15 years, but it was at Cinema 23 or Cinema 21. Was it 21 or 23? It's either Cinema 21 or Cinema 23. I forget which one, but in Verona, New Jersey, like right over by where I used to go to Taekwondo. Yeah, like that was, we saw it there. We walked out. I'll never forget it.
Hilarious. Dude, I haven't seen it in a while, so it probably doesn't hold up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I haven't even seen the whole thing, so I couldn't tell you.
Like, I remember when I watched it, like when I was younger, it was just like, oh, this is like one of them like goofy, quirky movies that like, yeah, like I enjoyed it, but like I'm not gonna go watch it again.
Right.
But when he showed me the first one, I was like, this is actually hilarious. I fuck with that one. But
And it's crazy because I've also never seen Get Shorty.
I would say Get Shorty's better than that for sure.
I'm sure, yeah. I definitely want to. I'm gonna give them both a chance because it's been so long. Like it's been like almost 20 years. I'm gonna give it a chance.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, but like I remember like I was just talking to my homie Steve about it like a couple days ago. Shout out to Steve. Like he was there and we were all like, yeah, like it's one of like I think I've only ever walked out of like 3 or 4 movies in my life, and that was one of them.
Yeesh.
Yeah. It was no, sorry.
No, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
I was just I'm not gonna tell the whole story because I've told it before, but the other so it was that one. Me, one of my best friends, Solomon, shout out to Solomon, and my dad, we saw White Chicks. And we the only reason we walked out of White Chicks is because my grandma went to the hospital like maybe about 40 minutes into the movie. So we had to leave to go check on my grandma. I walked out of Fired Up. I don't know if y'all ever saw Fired Up before.
No, that shit sounds trash.
It's garbage. And then we saw Grown Ups 2. We walked out of Grown Ups 2.
Grown Ups 2, like it's not all right. It's not better than the first.
I would have walked out with you, bro.
It's not better than the first one because the first one's funny as hell. But when you watch 2, you're just like, this is kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? Like just a money bag grab thing.
Yeah, cash grab. Yeah,
like
totally.
that's what I saw from it when I watched. I was like, yeah, they just trying to get a bag out of this.
That's the worst. But anyway, Driveby, tell me your story. I want to hear your story as well.
Mine wasn't a theater, so I've always suffered from insomnia since I was a kid. Like I'm talking about since I was like 8 or 9 years old. When everybody thought we were sleeping, like the children, my dad would go to the living room and watch like all the classic 90 movies, and I would sneak behind the couch.
You were telling me about this.
And watch these movies, and also like grab some snacks with me to watch and hide behind the couch and watch the shit. And then if I made like one little sound, he would hear me like, "What the fuck? So what the fuck you doing here? You're supposed to be in bed." So my first like crazy ass movie I saw when I was a kid is probably why like my beats are so fucking wacky. It was Pulp Fiction.
Oh, classic.
And I was 8 or 9 years old watching that shit. And I got to see a lot of other crazy movies because of that shit. I remember I fucking saw
yeah, you was watching probably all types of crazy shit.
Wild crazy shit, bro. I remember I saw fucking Pulp Fiction was definitely one of them. I watched a lot of like the old Lord of the Rings, like the cartoon ones.
Oh yeah, I was about to say like the Ralph Bakshi ones, right?
Yeah, like I watched
That's
a lot of
crazy.
those. I saw quite a few Ralph Bakshis. The Lord of the Rings. I saw Cool World because of that.
Fire. Yeah, I forgot about that one.
I saw because my dad likes like a lot of like the weird shit I like. It's because of my dad. Like when it comes to like movies and visuals and stuff like that. Like I definitely saw Godfather when I was a kid because of that. Like I was just like, I literally, bro, I would hide behind the couch, and if I didn't say anything for like a whole 2 hours, I watched the movie. But if I made one little sound, he would get pissed off, throw my ass in the room, and then turn off all like the equipment and go to sleep. So like, bro, I remember I saw fucking what was another good ass movie that I saw? I remember watching Once Upon a Time in America.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a long ass movie too.
Yeah, that's a crazy movie to watch as a child.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
that's
it's
crazy.
Very crazy. Very crazy. Very crazy. So like, I used to like literally just sneak and just watch shit. Like I was a fucking asshole as a kid.
Hey, nah, I mean, I feel like that's almost like a rite of passage as like a child, like early teenager, like either like while your parents are asleep or like if they're like out for the night or whatever, like you go into their DVD collection or you go like turn on HBO and just like watch what like my sister and I used to do that shit all the time.
Exactly.
That's how I first watched Chappelle. At the time when I was watching Chappelle, because my dad had the DVDs. So when he was either like in another room or asleep or out, like we would just bust the DVDs out and just watch Chappelle.
So that's funny you said Chappelle. The first time I saw Carlin was because of my dad, and I was like hiding behind the couch watching the shit.
Right.
And I was like that's probably my dad's favorite comedian. It would be George Carlin, and then he loves Chappelle. Like, and then,
Carlin's fire, bro.
yeah,
wow.
yeah. So like he puts Carlin up there like heavy, and then
Yeah.
Carlin was crazy.
and then Chappelle's kind of like neck and neck with him. But like
Yeah, no.
I got to watch a lot of George Carlin when I was a kid because I would stay up late.
That's tight. Yeah, no, I used to do the same with Def Comedy and Def Poetry jams.
Yeah,
Like
yo, Def Poetry Jam, I miss
would come
that
on
so much.
they would come on HBO, and my dad used to like it too, so I would watch that shit sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
so I get it.
One more before we go to the next one.
Yeah.
Spawn. I got to watch Spawn, the animated series, when I was a kid.
Oh, the one.
Yeah,
the
I was
one
gonna say that too. Yeah.
That was dark as fuck as a kid.
That's the one with That's the one with Keith David as the voice of Spawn. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, Keith David is there. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
wow.
Keith David's one. Yeah, no.
Holy shit, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I love the beginning of it. Now you're watching Spawn. Turn off your lights.
Classic. He that man can read the phone book and make it sound good, bro.
Yeah.
Or you know. Yeah, no, Keith David's the man. But yeah, no, like see, I never finished the Spawn show, but like the episodes I've seen are great. It looks great, sounds great, you know, just a nice. I like Spawn. I've always liked Spawn. Don't love Spawn, but I like Spawn.
I love Spawn. Spawn's a really good one.
Spawn's tight. Y'all ever see the movie?
Yeah.
Oh man.
The movie with Michael J. White.
Yeah, Michael J. White and John Leguizamo is the clown and the violator.
Yeah. Imagine being a kid that watched Spawn when you weren't supposed to be watching it,
right?
And being excited to go watch the film, and it just being complete disaster, bro.
Complete vibe switch, man. Yeah, it's just complete vibe switch, bro. Like the fucking like shitty special effects. It was like
yeah,
like
dude.
the craziest part is that like Spawn and Blade, those were because the first Blade is a classic. I think the second one's better, but like those two movies,
fire.
I hate the third Blade movie.
The third was all right. It's not great. It's not great.
I hate
but it's
the first two got it.
It's not great, but it fits what. All right. How do I say this? Like, because the first two are fire. First two are really good.
Yeah.
But like as when it comes to like a Marvel trilogy, it's better than most trilogies that came out like in the 2000s.
Yeah.
You know why I wasn't fucking with the third one is because I don't know. No offense to the guy on a personal note, but once you got like Ryan Reynolds involved and like, it's just like, all right, this just got corny. You know what I mean?
It was at that time where it was a little different for him because he was like still starting out. He was like still off the Van Wilder shit.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, like I kind of feel like Ryan Reynolds had like a moment where just like everything sort of clicked, and then you know, like now, like we what's it called? Desiree and I just watched Free Guy for the first time a couple months ago, and Free Guy was great.
That's one of his latest movies, right?
What? Yeah.
Free Guy's like, I
forgot. It's the one where he's like the NPC from,
yes, there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What the fuck? When did that come out?
That came out like 3 years ago, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, no, and like between like that and like Deadpool and like he's done like a bunch of things that I love, but like there's also moments.
Like that's what I was saying is that Pokemon. Back in the day though, I feel like he was in
definitely
that pocket where it was like he kind of played the same character.
I mean, yeah,
like
of course,
totally.
You know,
dude,
what I mean?
He literally played the same. Like one of like my favorite movie from him is Waiting.
Waiting's great.
Yeah,
I love
Waiting is crazy.
Waiting is super fire.
They implanted that character from Waiting into the Blade trilogy.
Yeah,
and that's a weird look. You know, no, I get it. I get it. So like as y'all get older and you start to have more life experiences and experience more things, was there a movie that kind of stopped you in your tracks and like really connected with you on either like an artistic or emotional or spiritual, just like the first capital M movie you saw that was like, you know, like some like this is more than just like 90 minutes of entertainment type shit.
Oh shit.
Damn, because I like a lot of movies.
That was there's a few that stick out. Like I was gonna say Basketball Diaries at first.
That's crazy. That's a really good
crazy
movie.
Crazy
But
good movie. Yeah.
I think I'm leaning towards Requiem for Requiem for a Dream.
Okay.
Wow.
Dude, the first time I saw that, I was in a fucking cold basement, fucking like,
It's a really good movie.
yo, high off my ass, like watching this shit, like, bro, like I feel like I didn't fucking blink when I watched it. It was just so
Right.
good.
It was one of those.
Dude, the scene with the refrigerator. Do you remember what I'm talking about? The refrigerator and the grandmother?
Yeah.
It was like, he's like, ah! That shit was crazy, bro. I can't.
Yeah, she was tripping her ass off. That's a great ass movie. That's my favorite Marlon Wayne role.
Yeah.
How many times have you seen how many times have you seen fucking Requiem for a Dream? Because I've only ever seen it one time and I never need to watch it again.
Oh, see,
Ever.
Yeah, it's not one of those you put on repeat. Like I've seen it 5
hell
times.
no.
That's crazy. I've probably seen it more than 30 times. So like,
damn,
30 times.
Yeah, more because it's a good ass movie for me. Like that,
you got that shit on for Christmas.
Like
you know
that's actually, dude. I'm like when me and Sharif like get up sometimes and work. That's one of the movies we put on sometimes and watch.
What?
So like Requiem for a Dream is fire.
Like
it's a fire ass movie.
No, it's great. I get it. But
I get where he's coming from though, because sometimes when we're in the studio, like we like to do that. Like we'll play like bugged out shit in the background on mute, like while we're working, and like
yeah.
I don't know. Sometimes it makes for good creation. I don't know, but
okay.
I wouldn't pick Requiem for a Dream, but
that movie's fire.
It's a great movie. It's just like and like I don't have that reaction to a lot of movies, but like that's one where it's like I never need to I never need to watch it like beginning to end ever again. If like
that's crazy.
Oof. Only because it like once again I'm not usually like this movie's too intense. I can't watch it again person, but like that one.
It's
cool.
very intense that movie. Like when he loses his arm and like towards the end of the movie is crazy.
Yeah. I would rewatch it one more time though because it's been a while.
It's a good ass movie, man. That movie's fucking. That's probably Jared Leto's like best movie.
Easy. Also, you know who else is in it? Keith David.
Keith David's in there.
He's the pimp who pimps out
shit,
Jennifer Connelly.
Right.
Yeah,
you're right.
Oh,
you're right. Oh shit. Wow, how did I forget that?
I'm mad as hell.
That's like a very small role from him.
Yeah.
Pull it up right now so I can see.
Keith David's the man, bro. I love when he like what wasn't he the president in Saints Row 3?
Yeah, he was the president in Saints Row.
Yeah, and he was Keith David as the president. It was fucking hilarious.
He has a lot of cool roles.
Dude, he's the man, bro.
he's an icon, bro. Yeah, no, him in The Thing. The Thing was kind of pivotal for me coming up like in like high school, college, because like he's incredible in The Thing. He's incredible in They Live. If you ever see that, I'm sure you've seen They Live. Yeah, no, he's in They Live. He's great in that. Yeah, he's an icon, bro. Love Keith David. It's just funny that like this conversation is revolving around Keith David right now.
Yeah.
Actually, we're gonna be talking about ATL when he was the father.
No,
son.
I was just gonna mention that too. That shit was funny.
That's yeah. No, he was Nunu's father. I forgot he was
Nunu's father,
which is pretty goat too. Like to get him for he didn't play that much of a role in that film, but I don't know.
Right.
It's just hilarious.
Keith David's hilarious.
The biggest role he played in that movie was to introduce his daughter Nunu that nobody knew was the rich black man's daughter.
Yeah,
you know, and then Tip looks at her just like, and then he takes the chain off. Like that movie's great. As the child of a roller skater, that movie means a lot to me.
I mean, I was that too. And like I would say, like I was like one of those like Would you put it under like under like a hip hop movie?
Oh, sure, easy.
Yeah,
I was gonna say like there's like that and 8 Mile are probably the best hip hop movies out there. Like because any other hip hop movie is kind of like ass. Like Get Rich or Die Trying is not that good.
yeah.
or like the Tupac and Biggie movie like Notorious and shit. Like
They fumbled.
yeah,
super hard
those
with
fumbled hard.
See,
But
man,
like
yeah.
ATL and 8 Mile is like, all right, these are solid movies.
I would put so many other movies before 8 Mile.
For hip hop.
We've had this conversation before, bro. I would put so many movies before 8 Mile.
Yeah, I was gonna say that there
Wait.
is more that's on that list.
Wait, what hip hop movie would you put before that?
I would put like like if we're gonna consider ATL a hip hop movie, I would consider Above the Rim a hip hop movie.
Okay,
and I would put above the,
okay,
I would put
alright,
Above the Rim
okay.
over that easy because
Okay,
I also just
that's a really good movie.
That's one I just watched recently from circling back. Amazing.
Same here. I saw we went to the Draft House for my birthday and they were showing it for the 30th anniversary. So like, yeah, above like Above the Rim's crazy. Crushed Groove's crazy. I don't know. I'm just not like the story of 8 Mile is great, and I love like hearing Eminem rap over Shook One's Part 2. Amazing. Like that whole ending battle scene. I never believed Anthony Mackie as a battle rapper. His whole shit. I can't handle him in that shit, bro. I just don't fuck with Anthony Mackie. I never really have.
No,
but like that one in particular.
His real name's Clarence.
No, remember, and then they had him play Tupac in the Biggie movie.
Yes,
yeah,
he was terrible in that. He was so terrible.
And it's funny that you mentioned that because when you mentioned the Biggie movie, that's what I was gonna say is that it got ruined for me when he came out as Tupac, and I was just
awful.
like,
he was like, "What's up, Pop?
Like,
What's up, big?"
He said, "Check it out, motherfucker! I'm Tupac."
Yo,
it's so bad. Oh man. I remember I was so geeked to see that movie because I had just gotten into Biggie around the time it came out. And I mean, like the guy who played Biggie and it's great, but the rest of the movie's terrible. And Angela Bassett's great in it, but like terrible movie. Like
it is bad because one of my other favorite actors is in that movie too. And it sucks that he plays Puffy, Derek Luke.
Oh yeah, I forgot Derek Luke was
Puffy. Yeah, he's a good ass actor.
He's really good. Like I first found out about him from Antoine Fisher. I was gonna say
Antoine Fisher's great, man. You know what's Antoine Fisher, that the real Antoine Fisher wrote that movie. Like which is crazy because like to quote the old Chappelle Show skit, I didn't know you were allowed to write a movie about yourself. That's pretty wild. That's pretty loose. But it's a great movie. Yeah, I think I might got the DVD somewhere in my house. Wow. So now let's jump over to music with the both of y'all. Like when did music become capital M music for the both of you? Like not even so much like when did you know you wanted to make it, but like when did it become like less of like a passive experience and like a I'm into music? Like when did it become a thing you were into?
You want to go first?
You mean like when did we officially take it serious?
No. Just like when you first saw it as like a thing that wasn't just like a thing in the background. It's like a thing that you enjoyed before you decided you wanted to make it.
Okay.
Oh, that was probably like 2009, 2010, maybe.
Mm.
So yeah, that was like way back. That was like a year or two after my daughter was born. And
oh wow.
Yeah, and it was random as hell because like I had never like really like rap like that. Like I used to write like poetry here and there, like nothing like OD, just like some things I just wanted to like get off my brain. And then I don't know. One day I was just on YouTube and I was playing music and like a whole instrumental came on. And I don't know. I just caught myself like just rapping, like trying to rap. And I'm like, yo, let me fuck around and write something, you know? And then yeah, it just kind of kept going from there. I was in and out for a while, but then like I want to say I've been back in and not stopping since like 2018, maybe
Right.
2019.
Yeah, no, because I know. Growing up, you were like into a lot of like Spanish music. You know, like you were into like Hector Lavoe and Frankie Ruiz, and then I know like you and Roper were doing your thing, and
Yeah,
you were on parole, and that's why you stopped making music.
yeah, I was on probation, so like,
Probation, my
and
fault.
no, you're good. And it's just it was a long ass probation. That shit was like 5 to 7 years. Like,
God damn.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it was all. What's crazy too is it was all over some like weed, and like weed's legal now and shit. Like, so
Right.
it's just wild. Like,
You gotta love Jersey, bro.
yeah, right.
Fucking ass backwards.
Yeah, nah, for real. And I can't believe I forgot to bring this up before, but for anybody who doesn't know, y'all are both cousins. I
Yeah.
just learned
Yeah.
I just learned this recently because like in my research, in my digging, I didn't know y'all were cousins until
Yeah.
like a couple days ago.
Yeah.
That's very crazy to me.
Yeah.
And like and what's it called? Also, you were in Hoboken, and Drivey, you spent a good grip of your growing up in Jersey City.
Yeah. So
So
I'm originally from Hoboken,
right,
like, but um I spent most of my life in Jersey City. So like, cause like when I was like when I was born and raised in Hoboken, up until like maybe 10 or 12 years old, I was going back and forth from both cities because my dad lived in Jersey City, my mom lived in Hoboken. And then
right,
my mom officially moved to Jersey City like when I was like 10 or 12, and then I just been living in Jersey City since then. So that's why I rep Jersey City more.
right.
Even
Yeah.
though my birth certificate says Hoboken.
Hey man, like my birth certificate technically says New York, but I've lived in Jersey since I was 1. So
Yeah, you see, that's what I'm
like,
saying.
Yeah, same with me. I was born in Brooklyn.
Oh, I
oh
didn't know
word,
that. See, that's
Yeah.
my cousin. I didn't even know that.
wow. I was born at NYU Hospital apparently.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
Um,
fire.
and then yeah, nah, like the first year we moved to Jersey, we were in Jersey City
Oh, okay.
actually.
Word.
And then but I was like 1, and then we moved over to Montclair when I was 4, and I
Okay.
lived in Montclair until I graduated college. Like so like from like the time I was like 18, like the next 18 years I was out there. And now I'm where I am now. But anyway, but yeah, like Drivey, like I know like I know your father played a pretty huge role in like the way that you listen to and create music. So like what was kind of soaking up game from him like, and
Um,
how did that where's my brain going right now? How did that inspire your burgeoning love for music? That's a question. There we go.
really, because my dad always had reel to reels and vinyl players
Mm-hmm.
at the crib. So we was always listening to tape and vinyl, and he always took me digging as a kid.
Mm.
So like two of my favorite stores that are not around anymore. He used to bring me to Tower Records, and the one in the city, obviously that's the famous one. But there
Yeah.
was one in Paramus that he used to bring
Oh,
me to.
we had a Tower Records? That's
Yeah,
crazy. I didn't know that.
there was
Wow.
a Tower Records in Paramus, New Jersey, and
That's wild.
that's where I found fucking Nostradamus Volume 1 from fucking from the one that MF Doom flips.
Wow.
So like
See.
that's like, yo, shout out to Tower Records for that. So like that's and that was because my dad was pointing at like the Last Poets album, and automatically got caught like right next to it was Nostradamus. So like that's how I got like it mistaken, and I was just starstruck on that part.
And
But
that was on like CD, or was that a vinyl?
no, it was CD because we also bought me and my dad bought a lot of CDs when I was growing up.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember the first CD he bought me was Black on Both Sides by MF.
Ah, classic,
And I
classic.
and I wanted it for the one song, like that classic shit that kids would do back in the day. They'll buy a
Mm-hmm.
whole album just for one song,
Oh
and
yeah.
your parents would be like, "Are you sure you want this just for the one song?" Like, it's fucking $18. Like that's a lot of money. So like I remember I wanted it just because of Miss Fat Booty, and when I heard the rest of the album, I fell in love with it. I was like, yo, this album is fucking just like crazy. Like I like so when we were talking about artists that can't like overcome a certain album, um that's Mos Def's album, Black on Both Sides, but I feel like he got close to it with oh my god, why the fuck did I forget the name of it? Ecstatic.
Yeah. Like the Stones Throw. I mean, it's not actually a Stones Throw album, but it like reminds me so much of like what that was.
Because you got like
at that time.
Preservation on there, you got like Mad Lib
Mad
beats
Lib on
there.
it, yep.
Like, it's like super underground kind of tape. So like
that movie, album's crazy.
That's one tape I feel like he got close to overcoming Black on Both Sides, or he did overcome it. Like because like those are two big ass albums. Oh well, nah, you know what? I'm lying because New Danger was kind of fire too. I fucked with New Danger.
New Danger had a couple. New Danger, there's like a handful of songs on there I'm not huge on, but like
there is a handful, but like from front to back, it's not like how Black on Both Sides was. Like
totally, like once again, Black on Both Sides, this is classic, like or at least in terms of like universal, like the consensus is that's his classic. But to me and to you and maybe to also like Ecstatic is amazing. I love that project. Like that was, I remember when I fell in love with the Ecstatic. And like I remember when it was available to like buy places. Like I bought that shit off iTunes.
I know, dude. I got that. I remember like that shit was on in physicals at one point. Like I had it on CD.
It was.
Like,
I also might have had it on CD. That sounds kind of familiar.
That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, that tape is like a lost gem because you can't find it on Spotify or anything unless it's like a YouTube link.
It's completely out of print. It's so nuts. But
what was I gonna say? But yeah, like there's like albums like oh, so like, I was trying to get back to like what I was talking about, like me and my dad. Like, he would always take me digging and buying like CDs like that, and it was crazy because like he would put me onto jazz, I would put him onto hip hop, and he would never grasp it until I put him onto New Jobbers. Yeah, and I know people be slandering that man, but
I don't. You're not gonna hear me slander New Jobbers. I've been a New Jobbers booster since I was like 14, bro.
No, I feel you. Me too, man. But like you've been at the table when people slander me for like loving that.
Yeah.
So when I got my dad into that, my dad went nuts and bought like all his CDs, all his vinyls, all his cassettes, all like bro, I have a cassette called The King of Digging, and it's DJ Muda that used to do a lot of the scratches for New Jobbers, and it's literally him exposing all our favorite hip hop songs with the samples.
Ooh.
Like and New Jobbers did the index for like the cassette. So it's literally like you'll hear like, yo, it's crazy, dude. Like you're hearing it and he's just DJing these samples. Like it's like it just sounds like break beats, whatever. But he's going from like a Tribe Called Quest sample, fucking like Mobb Deep sample, going into a Nas sample, going into a Busta sample, and you're just like, bro, these are a lot of our favorite fucking songs that were like hit wonders. I mean, not hit wonders, number one hits. So and like here you have this Japanese man just exposing everybody.
Sample snitching like a
pretty much
like a little imp. That's crazy. That's so, crazy.
Like, that was, I would say that's where like it happened probably like when I was like 12, because that's when I went digging with my dad a lot. Like when I started realizing like it's not something in the background, like this is like a lifestyle music,
right?
So because we used to go, that's where I lost my train of thought on. The other favorite store he used to bring me to was J&R Records. I don't think a lot of people know what that was, but it was by the World Trade, and they owned a whole New York block, and each storefront was a different J&R like kind of thing. It was like J&R appliances, J&R music, J&R like electronics, like
wow.
So we would always go to the J&R like music section, and be digging there for hours. But that was a spot where that me and him would go digging a lot too. So like
Damn.
I would say for sure that's like where like music really like got serious for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, just like yeah, no, like considering that like a lot of people in your family also played music and either like played music and sang, and just like there's like so much history there, and it's only natural that you get bit by the bug,
Yeah,
like
that's true.
and like I'm thinking about the Ecstatic again, because that album, the cover, I actually learned like right after I first heard the album, like the front cover is a still from a movie called Killer of Sheep from 1978.
Oh shit, you're right.
Like just like the image of like the person like running or whatever, like jumping through the air. And that and that's actually, and like just like thinking about that, was there a time for the both of y'all, or like or yeah, was there a time for the both of y'all when you realize that music and film are two things that complement one another, like in any way, shape, or form? Like, do you remember like the first, or like, do you remember the earliest time that happened for you when you kind of realized that they go together and like augment each other, type shit?
Oh, one is you just brought up Above the Rim before, and
Right.
I always thought the intro to that movie was crazy as hell.
Yeah.
Like with the use of the Tupac song,
Yeah.
like I'm like, this is amazing. Like it's just yeah,
Yeah.
the way music can just suck you in, especially into like a scene as well, is very important.
So there's two things. Mine would probably be from Clockwork. Clockwork Orange, like the scoring
With
on that.
mm-hmm.
And I when I discovered Lord Finesse in this one interview where he's talking about all he samples is film scores, and that's what got me heavy into like doing like sampling film scores and realizing like wow, like music and film is like really connected, like they're almost like brother and sister.
Oh, that's dope. See, I've never seen that interview, but really weird, maybe too specific of a question, but do you remember the first film score that you kind of caught your attention after he said that? Because like that's such a specific vein you got tapped right there.
Damn, that's a
If
good
not,
question.
if not, it's no big deal. I just thought.
um it would probably either been like either Clockwork or Tron.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Tron was crazy.
yeah, because one of
Yeah.
my favorite sound designers is Wendy Carlos.
Mm.
Yeah, so like when I like it would probably have been like Tron or Clockwork, or even The Shining, because she did some scoring on The Shining too. So like those three movies, like I would say like that's when I started realizing like damn, I was like this is fucking nuts, and then that's what made me started going like deep into like sampling like movies and stuff like that.
I'll say that you know what name pops up a lot, that it'd be unexpected a lot. Danny Elfman.
Oh, that's a great,
Hey.
yeah, he's a great
Yeah,
composer.
he got range like
Yeah.
a motherfucker.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, he does everything. Because I only really knew him for like the Tim Burton ish stuff, and then
yeah.
and then I learned that he was doing that he was making like rock or like punk music or some crazy shit. He's definitely got range. Danny Elfman also scored Dead Presidents. I just learned
Did
that
he
recently.
really?
He scored Dead Presidents like at the beginning of the movie when like
That's
there's
crazy.
like some weird ass like Goosebumps type music that like has no business being in a movie like Dead Presidents. But I heard it and I was like, oh, and then I went and looked, and it was fucking Danny, like of all people, Danny Elfman scored Dead Presidents.
That's
Like,
fire, dude. I didn't
yeah,
even think about that.
that's a fucked up movie too, but that's
It's a
another
great
one
movie.
I never need to watch again. But yeah,
Nah, you gotta watch it again. That's a great movie.
no, that's fair. Once again, fucking Keith David's in that shit too. But no,
Oh, Keith David again.
yeah, he's gonna keep popping up. But but like as y'all, like as y'all get even, like a little bit older and start to, like music starts to become a serious thing. Like when did y'all both realize that music was going to become more than just a hobby, and that this was going to be a thing you were gonna, more or less commit your life to, just be lifers at it?
For me, it was probably 2011, 2012 when I dropped out of college.
Mm.
Because my first year of college, I wanted to be a mechanical engineer, and then like I fucking sucked at it, even though like
Mm.
I wanted to like be like so techie like that, or like just get into stuff like that. I'm a tech nerd, but like engineering's a whole nother level. It's like fucking,
Right.
it's like Japanese on crack. It's crazy. Um,
Yeah.
then my second year, I wanted to do music journalism, and then that's when I was still making beats and stuff like that. And I was like, man, fuck this. I'd rather be the artist. Like, I'm really good at like making beats, and I just want to make projects. And that's like when I started like really like pursuing for it. And I would say when I met like Oso, Sharif, and Roper, like that's when it got like I was like, okay, like this is serious.
Right.
Because
Because
before I met, I mean, I've known Oso my whole life, but like before I knew
right.
he was doing music, um, I was doing everything by myself and not taking it as serious. But it's like when I met them, that's when I just dropped out of college and I just took it like serious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, because I know that I know Roper introduced you to the MPC at
Yeah,
one
the
point.
1000.
Yeah, the 1000. Like that's it, because
And I used to be a sample hater.
right, yeah, which is like knowing you now, like like as well as I know you, that's crazy to me. But
Yeah,
like we all have our journeys and shit. But like it's just so like so yeah, you said like around like 2011, 2012 is when you knew that you wanted to like really do this and become the become the warrior spirit you
yeah,
are now.
yeah, pretty much. Because like when you surrounded by the right people and like and they kind of like share the same vision as you, it's like
Right,
okay, like I'm not here alone. Because I was doing everything solo before that,
right.
and I got like I was second guessing myself a lot and discouraging myself a lot until I met like also Roper and Sharif. Like it took those guys to like really like show me that like bro, like stop second guessing yourself. You're dope.
Right. Yeah, yeah, no, like you're here for a reason. We like what you do. Like these are your, like having like a tribe and a community really helps to push that shit out of you, especially when it's like, like so close. Like all you like literally all of y'all are from Jersey.
Yeah.
And like and you're like, oh, so what about you? Like when did I mean like I know you kind of had some ups and downs, and I know you and Roper were working on or not working on, like y'all put out a project Once in a Blue in
Yeah.
2012. And like was that the first thing that you had recorded? Because like I know you and Roper have a pretty extensive history too.
Yeah, we it wasn't the first thing like that was my first like actual full length project for sure.
Right.
Before that I was on like a few different like mixtapes. I like at the time there was this dude that put out like a 420 mixtape that caught the attention of like a lot of people in town because people hadn't heard hip hop in a while, really. Like
Mm-hmm.
especially like people that rapped well in the area. So like that tape did well, and then from that I dropped my first project, and that did well, and then that's when I got into trouble, and then so like fast forward to now, I was gonna let it go, but then it was really like right before the pandemic, ironically enough. It was like 2019. Like I was like, I'm just gonna be full speed ahead into this, and just give it my all and see what happens. And really it's more for my mental though, like music, because that's like my only outlet,
Right.
from
That's true.
this weird reality we're living in right now,
Yeah.
I definitely agree with him on that because there's there's been days they see me angry or like sad, and like I'm like, yo, don't speak to me. I gotta like make beats right now, and I'll just go into the studio, just bang out a bunch of
It's like
beats.
doing push-ups.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's real.
And then they'll hear me making all these crazy, sinister beats and stuff like that because I'm just expressing my anger.
Yeah, man.
Look, you've seen it at a performance, bro, where like there was a
Easy.
monsoon of MCs freestyling over my set, and I was getting pissed about that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I
I
was
know.
punching my SP.
I know exactly the show you're talking about. Oh
Yeah, dude.
man, I just passed. I just passed by that place on my way out to Long Island yesterday. That's so funny. That's so crazy.
Dude, I was punching the shit out of my SP for that.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. No, they were. And you're like you always wear your mask on stage. Like I could see it in your eyes. You were not happy.
Yeah.
I knew it. I was like, oh, I've never seen this drive by before. That was funny as hell. But before we move on to y'all's working relationship, I wanted to touch on something with Oso, because I know that you were talking about like coming back into it after the pandemic. Like that's around the time that like Apple Juice and like Hash Caviar came out. So like once you started putting those projects together and like really starting to get back in your bag, like how did it feel to kind of really go back after it after so many years? And like did it take you a while to find your groove, or like how was that transition back into music after being away for a minute?
It definitely didn't start out super easy because like I'm my own worst critic. So like, I was just writing a lot of shit, and I was like, I'm like, nah, like it needs to be crazy this time around. Like it needs to be crazy this time around. And that was always like the energy, you know what I mean? Was just the energy was always like elevation, evolution, you know what I mean? And just like I don't know. I really like beats, man. And production is very important to me. Sound is very important to me. So
They're
like,
good for the soul. I feel it.
and a lot of the music I made was just based on how the beat made me feel. Honestly, like not even just if it sounded dope or not. It was just like if it moved me or not. Like, and it's like, all right, I'm gonna write to this, But that's why working with guys like Roper and Driveby is like awesome because they got beats for all types of moods. You know what I mean? And it's perfect because I be in all types of moods.
Yeah.
And yeah, they just know what pockets to be in, man, and that helped me elevate a lot because it was just like, because at the time, that gap in between, I feel like it was important, like as well, because I had to grow, I had to learn, so it was just like I was also coming back into it, rapping about different things. You know what I mean?
Right.
I feel like in the younger years, you rap more about like fucking bitches and doing stuff like that. You know what I mean? And that stuff's cool and all, but it's just like I don't know. I'm just more into the artistic form right now.
Yeah, and yeah, like that's just what life's calling for, and y'all clearly saw that in each other. So like talk to me about when y'all first linked in a musical sense, and what you thought was so special about working with the other when you first came together.
It was probably like around 4-wheel drive, and when you came to the studio.
Yeah, it was. So I came basically into their studio. Like we had studios in the same building that were right around the hallway from each other.
Mm-hmm.
And I was leaving my old studio, and I ended up going into theirs. And yeah, it was like right around that time. I think 2020, really.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't working. He was trapped here in the basement.
Yeah.
And I remember just me. I didn't give a fuck. I was, I had to do what I had to do during that time to, support my family. So I was just like, you know, masked up doing the thing, but I was outside. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
And I remember popping by on him, and it was just like bad funny. He's like, "Hello,"
like, yeah,
like he hasn't
nah,
seen
dude,
a person in weeks.
I would like you remember in Benchwarmers the dude that's afraid of the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
exactly
do.
like.
That's how I was because like I was very paranoid about that shit.
And like, even though I probably shouldn't have, but he knows like I'm a ball buster. I like having fun. You know what I mean? But I
Yeah.
remember I came in and I'm like, dude, you gotta fucking do something with yourself. I'm like, what happened to the beats, man? You know what I mean? He's like, you know what I mean? Like I'm not in the mood, whatever. I'm like, you better get in the fucking mood. I'm like, you got all the time in the world right now. And he's like, you know what, you're right. And then he started getting to it.
Yeah, and the crazy is he would like come by and feed me records, like just drop them off to my house.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. So what's
Wow.
crazy is one of the records he fed me during the pandemic is Runs with Ice. That's on 6-Wheel Drive.
Mm.
And
Wow.
that sample also ended up on 4-Wheel Drive as well.
Yes, you're right. That
random as fuck.
It's the same record.
Random
Wow.
as hell.
Wow.
You want me to say it?
Go ahead, fuck it, I don't care.
I don't know. Do we sample Snitch? I don't know.
Whatever y'all want. I'm not gonna tell you what to do with your music. Like,
well, no. Either way, because it's just so cool. I think Three Amigos.
hey,
It's a score for the Three Amigos. Yeah.
That's tough. I like that a lot.
But
What
it's not like
songs?
it's not like it's easy to find the sample either.
Yeah.
It's a very random part of the movie, like, and it's very short. So it's like, I remember when I found, and do you know what's crazy? When he brought it to my house, I was like, what the fuck you bringing me Three Amigos here? I was like, like this just, there's nothing gonna be dope on this.
Every time I dropped off a record, I'm like, trust me, bro.
It's here.
And
I
then
got
like,
you.
then when I
know?
got it, I made like some fire ass beats for me. I'm like, damn. Like, all right, that's when I knew he was good at like searching for vinyls.
Yeah, no, and like y'all like that, like that's where the chemistry began because like you, like Driveby, like you grab a lot of movie samples, which is like not like I mean like I know like it's weird because like lots of people do it, but not a lot of people do it at the same time. But like even just listening to like 6-Wheel Drive, because like there's the interlude, that interlude like once again. Like we could cut this if you want, but that interlude, is that from Death Proof?
The vocal sample is not the
That's what I thought. Yeah. That's what I thought. Like just like the bit where Kurt Russell's like, oh, like like you're you should be scared right now, like you're going left or right. Because like I was listening to it and I haven't seen Death Proof in like a good long time. I was like, is that Death Proof? Like it kind of gave me that, but I guess it was Death Proof.
It was
so
that was actually so also he actually had to step out and check his car real quick. When he when we were like going through like the tape, he ended up finding a lot of like the vocal samples for it. So like damn, I forget the movie that like the one that's on The Bums Lose. I forget the name of the movie that he used for that. It's a John Cusack movie. It's like it's a scene where like these two Asian guys pull up to him while he's in his car. Like they always meet up at a traffic light.
Yeah.
And then one of the Asian dudes is like racing him, and the other one is on his like megaphone announcing the race. So yeah, there's that. The Death Proof one. Yeah, I don't want to say like all of the all of the songs. Like
you don't gotta do that.
I would say some of them, like maybe half of the tape is like movie scores, and then the other half are like from wherever.
That's
like like Omi one, like where me and Benji made that was definitely a Brazilian record. Yeah, so that one was like really dope.
And I didn't realize that song was a Benji co-production. Shout out to Benji Socrates.
There's 3 co-producers on this tape. It's Roper, Benji,
Yep.
and St. James.
Yeah, see, I knew about Roper and St. James, but I didn't know about Benji. Because I told y'all, Only One's my favorite song on there. It's either that or the first song.
Oh, Crying Monkey.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
those like like of course like I went back and like ran the album a few times, and Four Wheel Drive, which I surprisingly hadn't heard before all this, and like like I'm so curious about like how y'all's process started off and what inspired the whole. Well, yeah, like or like I guess let's start with Four Wheel Drive, like walk me through what happened with Four Wheel Drive and then how that led into Six Wheel Drive.
All right, so Four Wheel Drive happened because me and Oso are both into cars. Like we just like kind of like just car racers, just like any like style of cars, whatever. Like, so when Four Wheel Drive happened, I remember I was driving my old car was a Toyota 4Runner 2002, and that's just like a monster truck like when you're driving it. So I just remember like that had 4-wheel drive, and then also just got his Mercedes, which also has 4-wheel drive. And when we were making the tape, me and him would talk about cars a lot, and I know like, that's how like he ended up coming up with the name. I remember that. But I know it came off of like our love of like just cars in general, and it definitely came off of like the fact that like me and him were just always driving. Like anytime it snowed, we didn't have a problem.
Right.
So, but that started like during the beginning of the pandemic, where he was feeding me samples, like coming to my house, checking up on me, see if I'm good, and then drop off like 1 or 2 samples. I remember one of the samples too, where I told him like, why the fuck is this here? And it's crazy. It's not his fault. I had it in my collection. I just never opened it because I was like, this is probably bullshit. It's Cats.
The movie,
I think
the
it's the
musical.
movie or the musical, one of them.
Mm.
I was like, why the fuck is this here? Like, I'm not like this shit's ass. I don't want to hear about Jellicle Cats all day. So, but then like I went deeper into the vinyl, and I was like, wow. I was like, I didn't realize how dark the sounds and tones of Cats can be. And I've made some like crazy ass beats off of that. I think one of the no, I didn't use Cats for 4-wheel drive, but I definitely used Three Amigos for that. One of actually 4-wheel drive, the whole thing except for Roper's beat is movie scores. I'll tell you the first song, Christopher Lloyd, that's a Macaulay Culkin movie, but I'm not going to tell you what movie it is. And it's none of the Home Alones.
I'm happy you brought that up because I think that's my favorite song on 4-wheel drive. And I was going to say that before. Yeah, Christopher. Yeah, no, like that's I don't know, bro. That song, I don't know. That song is super dope to me. Like I like there's like a crazy like it's not exactly a beat switch, but it's like pretty close to a beat switch, like halfway through.
Like a beat part. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Like like re-listening to it or not even listening to it for the first time, like that's the one that really grabbed me. And then like y'all got a ransom feature on there.
Yeah,
like
that was actually the first ransom feature, because I know Ransom's on Hatch Caviar.
Right.
Yeah, that was our first ransom feature, and I was actually sued for that because that's a Jersey City legend right there.
Right.
And you know what's crazy? It was around like when we got that feature, it was around the time where he started getting his respect and his dues from like the right rappers and stuff like that. Like he was working with like I think Rome Streets a lot. He was getting like, it was because Ransom's been around since I was like from what I can remember. since I was like a teenager, since I was like 12, 13 years old. That's
Wow.
that's when I can remember Ransom. He's probably been out way longer than that, but he's an old like legend. Like, so when I was when Oso got the connect for that, I was like, hell yeah, I want Ransom on this tape. This is fire.
Yeah, no, to see to see that happen so early, because yeah, like this is like 2021, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, no,
2021, yeah.
yeah, so just like seeing that happen so soon was or just like thinking about like where Ransom is now, like him and Rome put the project out, and he's like damn near a Griselda affiliate at this point,
That's
you
what I'm
know?
saying. So like,
Like
and it's about like, and he deserves that because he's been like, yo, I'm telling you, bro. Like, I used to listen to him like when I was a teenager, like around when like I'll Be Out was starting to get popping when I was a teenager.
right.
So like, that's what I'm saying. Like the fact that he's like you said, Griselda affiliated and also like as he should be there. Like he put his work in for years. Like, and I'm happy he got recognized, bro, because like that's like he's like a super Hudson County legend.
Mm. I didn't even know he was from Jersey.
Yeah,
I don't know.
He's from Jersey City.
Damn. Yeah, I don't even know. I never even thought about like where he could possibly be from. I was just like, oh, like that just caught me by surprise.
Yeah,
Um,
I knew about him because of like I used to hang out on West Side Avenue a lot.
yeah,
That's where I used to live. Um, so like I met him through like a couple of friends like in the neighborhood. I didn't meet him. I mean, I've heard of him through a couple of my friends in the neighborhood.
yeah.
But that's how I got in. That's how I've learned to like appreciate his music and like get into it. But yeah, when Oso, I don't know how Oso got that connect, but he made it happen.
4-wheel drive kind of happened. Well, yeah, it was once Drivey started taking my advice and like making beats out of the records I was dropping off.
Yeah.
We just kind of started cooking from with Grease from there, but like we didn't really have a direction, and like we were leaning towards a full length project originally, but we do have one in the cut. But we just feel like we needed to give the world like a kind of like an introduction to us, or a reintroduction, if you will. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah, totally.
and yeah, so I was like, how can we make an impact, without making a full length project? And I saw a G-Wagon drive down the block, and then I'm just like, I'm like 4-wheel drive, and I like after that I was just like, all right, 4 tracks. Let's see what we could do, and then like we ended up getting Ransom on the project, which was pretty dope.
Right.
Yeah, and that made it even more crazy. So it was just like we were like, all right, I think we got something. I think we should just drop this. You know what I mean, and get the momentum going.
I was also telling him like for our love of cars.
No, and that I was gonna mention that too. Is that
Yep.
that's also something that runs deep with us. Like I grew up around cars my whole life. Like my mom and my step pops were both auto mechanics. So
Yeah.
like, yeah, the love for cars is there. So I always wanted to do like a series based around that. And then he's Driveby. So
Right.
it's like nah, bro, you need a Drivey series. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where
Mm-hmm.
this all kicked off.
I was telling him about the turning tape too.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
something that's in the cut. I don't know. I'm not gonna say I don't know how long it's gonna take, but that's an awesome idea we have in the cut right now. That
Yeah, I love that, man.
tournament tape.
Yeah. Nah, just like on some like twisted metal shit, just like having a bunch of people, it's like
Yeah,
mashing
and
shit
I
together.
really wanted to be on some like everybody's outdoing each other.
There you
So
go. Yeah.
yeah, well, that's gonna be interesting when it drops.
Y'all, like the both of y'all have both individually and collectively have been putting in a lot of work with like by yourselves and with all the other people you run with between Roper and Sharif and just like like Kohai 89, just like all the shit y'all have done together. Like you've built you've built something you've built something crazy. And like I watched y'all bring people to Jersey from New York, which is a really difficult thing to do, even though
Yeah,
even though like we're in New York all the time. So like to
I know.
have so you know like to have all of this be built around the time you decide that 6-wheel drive needs to happen. Like why was this era or like this moment the time for y'all to drop 6-wheel drive? Like why was now time for the sequel to that project, to 4-wheel?
Okay. I would say because it's been like quite a minute since me and him dropped something together. Because the last time before that we had me and him did like enduro. So pretty much like I was saying before, like me and him like cars a lot. Like we really enjoy the sport of it, the lifestyle, just like the whole like art form of it and everything. So
Mm-hmm.
4-wheel drive so it kind of like this all kind of leads up to like eventually me also want to do a tourney tape
Mm-hmm.
where we have like a bunch of producers and a bunch of rappers on there, and it's almost kind of like NASCAR.
Mm-hmm.
So where everybody's kind of competing for like the first place of this, like like on the tape, whatever. But that's why like 4-wheel drive happened. Then we have enduro. Enduro's kind of like the motorcycle. Enduro's the name of like a very famous like motorcycle. So like that was only 2 tracks. That was one song produced by me and one song produced by Roper. So like a lot of these like names have to do with like the track titles, the number of track titles, and like leading up to like the bigger picture.
Right.
So um I remember he said 6-wheel drive one time, and I was like, bro, that's kind of fire. I was like, I was thinking 8-wheel drive, but like 6-wheel drive just sounds way better. Like, and it's more realistic because of like the big like Tonka trucks that have like 6 wheels and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but when it got to dropping it, um, it seemed like the perfect time now because we had it in the works for a little while, but I didn't want it to sit. Like, and like so like I remember like we finished everything probably like December or maybe early January. That's
Mm-hmm.
including like getting it mixed and mastered, finishing the songs, um putting it through Dove's tape, record label, getting Doves to like hop on board with it. Um so like I just felt like it was the perfect time to release it now because it just fit the vibe of the first quarter of the year, of like especially of like kind of like all like the just with like all the like craziness that's going on in the world.
Yeah.
Like I feel like now like we're not in an apocalyptic era right now, but it feels like that sometimes, like for me, like on a mental note. Like sometimes I feel like like some of the weird fucked up things that are happening today, it's too much of a norm, like
Yeah.
for me. So like that's why I feel like, are we getting close to an apocalyptic era now, or like are we getting close to that, like that scene? So it's like that's why I was like I told him like, yo, we should drop this in the first quarter, um because like it'll definitely fit the vibes of the scene, of the season, because it's still going to be cold.
Right.
And also like just for all the wild stuff that's going on and like in the world, like what's happening like in Palestine, or like what's happening
Mm-hmm.
in America. Like it's just like, not saying I'm trying to like you know profit off of like these negative things. It was just more of like, this is a representation of what's going on in the world right now.
Yeah, like things kind of feel, like you said, things feel apocalyptic and just a little out of control. And this is like definitely like the thing I love about 6-wheel drive is that like it's snow tires music, like this is like This is like crunchy. This is like crunchy gravel on snow. Like we're trying to figure out where to put the next 10 up before the walkers come get us music. Like that's kind of like what I that's like that's what I get when I hear Omi One. That's what I get when I hear Crying Monkey Award. That's what I get when I hear literally Gravel Prescription. Like it's like it's all there. And like it like when you first told me about it and mentioned that this was going to be a thing through Dove's label, through Steel Tip Dove's label. For anybody who doesn't know, Fused Arrow, go buy everything Fused Arrow. Like, how did that happen? And like once again, like it's just cool to see that all of this kind of came together at this point where the two of y'all are kind of, like you're bubbling up a little bit.
So I've worked with Dove before in the past. Like he mixed like 2 songs and a full album for me before that. The full album he's mixed, it's not out yet. It's me and Sharif. But the 2 songs that are out now that he mixed was one was with motherfucking Esquire
Yep.
and Sharif, You Shitting Me. And the other one he did was Sex with the Leopard Print Lady with Beans.
Yeah, with Beans. Yeah.
And Sharif again. So I already knew Dove from just like, sending him work and like, just like, paying him and stuff like that. Just like, working with him. And when it came to 6-wheel drive, Lons, also wanted me to. He first suggested me to mix and master it because I mixed and mastered 4-wheel drive the first time. But like I've gotten better throughout the years. Before I got to 6-wheel drive, I really wanted it to sound like really good, 6-wheel drive, and especially with somebody that knows how to mix underground music or just experimental music in general. So I literally hit up Dove like 2 or 3 weeks before Christmas,
Mm.
and I asked him like, Dove, I know this is short notice. I was like, but are you available to like mix an 8-track like album for us? And he was like, yeah, like I'll see my schedule, whatever this is not. Gave me his price. He banged it out like in like probably 2 weeks because Dove is like amazing with his mixing. Like he's quick, he's organized, very he communicates well, and he's just an awesome ass engineer, especially like
Yeah.
especially doing like experimental and like underground music. He's really good at that. Not saying I can't do that. It's just that I wanted this tape to sound awesome.
Yeah.
I really wanted it to sound awesome, and I trust Dub's ear for that.
Right. You wanted, you wanted it to be at a level, and like you said, like Dove's a legend when it comes to all of that. So I get it.
Yeah. So once he gave it back to us, and I just kept hearing it. I didn't know he had a label at that time. I didn't know he had Fused Hour Records like at that time, or trying to like start it up or whatever. I just known Dubs as just an engineer and also working with Sharif. And Sharif told me about his record label. Shout out to Fatboy Sharif.
Always shout out to
Yeah.
Fat.
So he told me about his record label, and I was like, "Word?" I was like, "Does he have anything like in the beginning of the year?" He was like, "Nah." He was like, "He got some stuff like towards like maybe like summertime or like fall or whatever, but like he has nothing in the beginning of the year." I was like, "Okay, let me holla at Dove about this." So while Dove was mixing, I asked him like, "Yo, like I know this is kind of like short notice too." I was like, "But would you be down to put this under your label?" Like if not, it's cool. I understand if you're busy or if you don't like the tape. I get it. It's not a problem. He listened to it, came back to us probably like in a week and said, "Yo, I'm down. Let's do it through Fused Arrow." And he loved the tape too. Like he loved it like from the front to the back. And when we showed him the artwork too, he fell in love with that too. That's why I feel like he had fun making the cassettes because he designed the cassettes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Dove designed the cassettes, and Dove did a lot of like the little promo videos that we have, like the 3D
That's
renderization.
cool.
Like he
Yeah.
did a lot of us. Like he helped us out a lot with that. Like so, shout out to the Steel Tip Dove for that. Um,
Who did the cover?
that was Chop the Head. Shout out to
Oh,
Chop.
shout out to Chop. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was another thing about this tape. Like we wanted to like have like a lot of people's hands in this. Like awesome, talented people's hands in this. Like, like we got Roper, we got Sharif, we got Benji, St. James, Lungs. I
Yeah.
specifically wanted Lungs on Runs with Ice too. Like I didn't want him on
Mhm.
any other beat that we were like giving him. Like I was like, nah, I hear Lungs on this one. I was like, this is the beat right here. I was like, he needs to rap on this.
Yeah.
So Lungs ended up doing it and he fucking killed it. And then I think it was either Oso or me. I forgot. I think it was Oso. He mentioned Chop the Head, and I was like, hell yeah, Chop will kill it. And yeah, we went through Chop. He can't. He Chop is good. Another good thing about Chop is just like Dove. He's quick. He communicates well, and yeah, he does an awesome job. And he does edits for you too. Like he won't be like because I know some people can get annoying with edits. So it's like he works really well with that. So like Chop is very like shout out to Chop. Like he's like he helped us out a lot with this tape.
Mhm.
And yeah, so like once we got like the artwork done, then we got the record label, and then like we talked about cassettes, and we just literally like had a few meetings with Dove and planned out like when should we start promoting it and like how and when should we drop it and like and what should we do and stuff like that. As far as the music video thing, um, I was searching high and low for like an apocalyptic kind of like scene.
Mhm.
So the video shot in three different cities. Some shots are in Boston, some are in Jersey City, and then the jail is in Newark.
Yeah.
So that was like the whole like the chef's kiss of the video for Chariot Rims.
Mhm.
When I found the abandoned jail in Newark, I was like, "Yo, bro, we have to record it here. We have to like film it here. Like this is Charity Rooms all over." And it was a weird situation because we ran into some homeless people in there.
Oh no.
Yeah, but they were just like, no shooting of the people, like, and y'all good. And I was like, all right, we don't want you. It's like we're good. So like that was a fun day. Like it was cold as hell too. It was snowing. It was still snow on the ground.
Mhm.
So I remember that was a little bit of a challenge for me because I don't really shoot videos and I don't like edit like that. So it's like I mostly do
Right.
music. So like that was a little bit of a challenge and it came out really well. I remember we had fun doing that one. But yeah, it's just the whole just like the whole like the way the process went with Six Wheel Drive, I really like loved it because it happened and it's a kind of like a very like lucky situation, I would say, because it happened in a very short amount of time. Like we finished the tape like in November, and we did all that shit with Dove in the music video up until like February when we started promoting the shit.
Oh wow. So it's like this really came together over the course of like 3 months.
Yeah, like it was a very like we've talked about it for like a year or so, like doing the project, but we just kept like like he kept like saying, like, like he would be like, "Oh, I don't like this beat right now." Like, "Oh, let me rewrite this verse," or like, "Let me do this, let me do that." And like when it got into like maybe like the beginning of fall 2023. That's when like me and him sat down and like really went hard on like just like yo, let's finish this now. And we finished it in November, and we sent it off to Dove, and then we did all like the promo, everything like right before February when we were doing everything. So it's a very lucky situation. I'm very grateful how like everything turned out. Like even doing the show in Brooklyn at Loudmouth,
Yep.
that was that was a very awesome show. Like to be honest, man, since it rained that hard, like I didn't expect like us having
A
like
turnout that
a crazy like packed house. And it was just like I only expected like if it was like the weather was nice or something, because like people don't come out in the rain. They'll just
yeah, not really.
like they'll be like, fuck this. But like
Especially not to that part of Brooklyn.
exactly,
Like
so like the fact that like that we had like a crazy packed house, I was like, yo, and this is in the rain. I was like, this is wild. So like that was a very good outcome for that. And like I know mad people have fun with that because like Speak and Gam did their thing.
yeah.
I did his thing.
Yeah.
Oso did his thing. Yeah, everybody did their thing, bro. Like it was fun. Like the venue was like you did your thing too. You was hosting.
Thank you, man. Yeah, nah, like like I told you that night, and I feel like I've told you a bunch of times since. Like I was so honored that y'all considered me to do that. I don't know. Like I just be talking about shit, and I
Nah,
just
man.
like yeah.
It's like Sharif said, like, bro, you Dylan Green. Yeah, man. Like you're just as important as these artists that are out here in the scene right now.
Man, I just appreciate the trust, man. That's all, like it was beautiful to get to see all of that happen in real time. Like I know you were a little nervous about people not showing up, and then they did,
Yeah, because
like
I was worried about because like it was like it was the weather. That was the thing
yeah,
that was really stressing me. I like if it wasn't raining, bro, I would have been chilling the whole time, drinking and
yeah,
macking with y'all.
yeah, bro. Nah, man, I get it. But like that night turned out beautiful. Whole mess of people showed up in the rain. Like really, like you can't beat that bill that we had that night.
Yeah,
For what I was saying earlier about just like elevation, evolution, you know what I mean? Like just trying to like push the envelope really. And like I don't know, like every time I do a project, I feel like I'm reintroducing myself every time. It just feels like that.
Right.
Because it's like yo, I'm putting you onto some new shit. Like that's how it just feels. And
Yeah, totally.
with Six Wheel, we were just kind of on some like, yo, he wanted me to get on crazier beats, really like obscure beats, and I was like, yeah, I'm totally down for that, because it gives me the opportunity to like chop heads off, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
yeah. Because I was like I forgot to tell you that before too. So like I mentioned to him saying like the 6-wheel drive wasn't supposed to come out the way it did.
Oh yeah, no, we already had a few tracks for it, and I had re-listened to it, and I was sitting on it, and he had even sent me beats to like match the vibes we had going on. He got a little tight with me too, because I was just like, nah, dude. I'm like, we're scrapping this whole thing right now, and
No.
yeah, we scrapped the whole thing, and we did it from scratch, and we bodied it quick too. Like the whole new 6-wheel drive, it was just like
Yeah, we did like in a matter of like Dylan said earlier, like in a matter of like 3 to 4 months.
yeah,
Damn.
yeah. The like
Yeah.
as far as like as finishing the music, the rollout, like everything, like we put it together very quickly.
Yeah. But like and like considering that this is like a nice little like 1-2 punch of a project, just like one thing I brought up to Driveby before is just like the range that like both of y'all displayed on here, but like you too, just like moving from moving from moving from something like Omi One to or like moving from like Crying Monkey to Chariot Rims to Omi One to Gravel Prescription, like not very many people can handle that sort of change, and you just kind of surfed over all of this, like y'all's, like y'all's chemistry really comes through in some cool ways, like like just like I can't think of anything that sounds like this right now, like the way like the way you're rapping over these kind of beats is like there aren't very many people doing this type of thing. Like it feels very unique in that way, and I think that like this is kind of like you guys's binary star chemistry thing coming together in a really cool way.
Damn, thank you. I love Binary Star.
Yeah,
Bro, Master of the Universe, crazy album.
Yeah, see, you already know. Like,
dude, bro, I know like probably the first verse to Reality Check, bro.
Oh my god.
Like one yo, that was one dude I was listening to heavy back in the day. One Below. I have his Sonogram album too.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn. What do you feel Six Wheel Drive says about you as an artist that no other project before this has? Because if I were to say something, it would be along the lines of like I said before, I think this really demonstrates your range in a way that like I'm like I feel like all of your stuff does, but this is like a really nice like sampler of like the wacky shit, the loop shit.
I agree with you. I definitely agree with you on that because that's like literally like what I got from it. Like Six Wheel Drive showed a lot of like my production value. Like like I was very like happy that people got to see my wacky wonky side of like production, got to see like my loop side, got to see like Gravel Prescription. That's a sample free beat.
Really?
That's me on the synths and
wow.
Yeah, that's me playing like the Moog Grandmother and St. James messing around with the drums. Yeah, like that's a sample free beat. That's the only beat on there that's not sampled.
That's incredible.
Yeah, like dude, like that one I had fun a lot because like that like so like I definitely agree with you because it showed a lot of my range of like as a producer. Like you got to hear my sound designing side, like with synthesizers. You got to hear my wonky like drums or sampling like because like like everyone who knows me knows I like to go into the depths of like -24 when it comes to pitches.
Right.
So like which a lot of people think I'm crazy for doing that because most people just go into like what -8 or like the lowest they'll go is -12 when it comes to like pitching a sample down. I go to like -24 to -28 and I go into those depths like just because like I feel like you can like really make wild beats like that.
Yeah, it's giving boiled lava. Like
exactly boiled lava.
Yeah, like your shit sounds like popping magma bubbles. Like like that song in particular too. That
so,
song
like,
in particular.
That's why like it definitely showed like a lot of like my versatility as a producer and also how I work with other producers too. Like I would have never made a beat like how I made like Omi one. Like I like if I was to make a beat with like that beat could have never been made with anybody else but Benji.
Right.
Like Omi one. Like I never made a wild crazy beat like that. Like in a long time until like me and Benji one night just got up and made like 20 beats in one night. So like that was one of the beats that came out. So like same thing with Roper, bro. Like the beats I make with Roper, like I can't make that with anybody else, obviously. Like Crime Monkey Award, that's like that's like Roper messing around with the piano stuff, like the looping, me getting on the vocoder with the synthesizers, fucking around. So like that's like it really like it shows like how well I work with others when it comes to production. Like the St. James thing, we did that probably like he came to my crib one day and we banged out like that and like two other beats. And that was like my favorite one that we banged out that day. So Six Wheel Drive definitely like for me it shows a lot of like my production value, how like I can like reach different like ranges of like different corners of music. Like I can get wonky, I can get soulful, I can get like sound designing, I can get really experimental. Um also like it also taught me this tape definitely taught me a lot of like I would say preparation and also what's the word I'm looking for? Preparation and also like a lot of like good faith coming out of like a bad situation. Because
Mm-hmm.
like this tape got inspired like of being also going through some bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna tell like the whole story, but like he went through some bullshit and I went through some bullshit, and when that happened, that's how Six Wheel Drive came. Like we literally got inspired from like bad faith.
Wow.
So
And yeah, no, like just like turning that into, just like turning lemons into lemonade is very much like a, like that's how you survive in the apocalypse.
pretty much, yeah. Like
Like.
because like dude, like when we first talked about Six Wheel Drive, I never thought of it as like an apocalyptic tape.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought about like making experimental beats for this tape. It was supposed to be kind of like how like Four Wheel Drive is, like like cool soulful beats, some grimy beats and like stuff like that. But
Mm-hmm.
like I would say I'm kind of happy that me and him went through that bullshit because we would have never birthed the way Six Wheel Drive is today.
Right.
Like like that's why like some of the names on the songs are funny too. Like Deku. Most people are gonna take Deku as like what, Zelda.
No, or for me personally, I thought it was Attack on Titan, or not Attack on Titan. My fault. My Hero Academia.
Some people think of that too.
Yeah.
So either that or Zelda. Deku, if you look it up, it means like a wooden dummy.
Mm,
That's literally what it means, like a wooden dummy. So
yeah.
like there's like some of like the names in there like have like really deep meaning behind it. Like runs with ice obviously means like urgency.
Right.
So like that's why like yeah, I would say like this tape definitely like I'm glad the way we came about this tape. Like it definitely showed me a lot about like I told you preparation and like dealing with like bad faith and turning it into good faith.
Mm-hmm. And like y'all really turned it. You turned it into something special. You got physicals out there. You had like we threw together a whole event for it, and
Yeah,
people showed. And like the both of y'all are like slowly making your way up, and you're at a level, like especially considering everything that's been going on in Jersey. Like where do you I want also to answer this for himself when he gets back, but like what like considering all the different things that are happening within this little pocket of Jersey, and like the Jersey club shit going on out here right now, and just like more eyes being on Jersey in like a slightly more serious way than they tend to be when it comes to music. Like where do you see yourself in all that? Like where does Drive-By fit into what Jersey rap is right now?
yeah, that's a good question because I feel like I haven't even scratched the surface yet for that.
Hey, that's what I was hoping you would say. Yeah.
Like I feel like I still need a lot. I still have to do a lot of work to get where I want to be, and I feel like this is just the beginnings for me, to be honest. Like Six Wheel Drive definitely like is like a huge stepping stone for like of what more is to come. Like of like with working with other artists or like seeing where my career goes as a producer. Um, so like the Jersey scene, I hope to be looked like I hope to be looked at as like a Jersey legend when I die.
Mm-hmm.
Like when it comes to like how the music scene is today. Like especially like when it comes to like especially like with the beat maker scene too. Like I do a lot of beat shows too, so it's like I hope to be looked at as like a legend for that too. Like that's why I get really like theatrical when I like perform. You've seen like I take out a Nintendo DS,
Yeah.
I mess around with a theremin.
Yeah, I was about to say that theremin
Yeah.
is crazy, man.
So it's like that's one of the things I hope that like my legacy could go on for like as like any other artist would. But it's like I feel like I haven't even gotten there yet. Like I still have a lot more to do in order to get that respect and like in order to like in order to like be called like as one of the greats. And I'm not trying to downplay myself because I know I'm awesome. I know I'm like a good producer and stuff like that. But it's like I have to humble myself every day, like
Yeah.
because like it's at the end of the day, like I'm a student first before I become like one of the teachers. So like that's how I look at it, is because like yeah, you gotta like work. You take one of the hardest workers and like I've seen in this Jersey scene is Sharif, Fat Boy Sharif.
Yeah.
Like that dude inspires me to like stop being lazy and stop fucking around and stop like what are you doing? Like you haven't done shit. Even if you are doing shit, you haven't done enough shit. So
Right.
like so it's like even if you like if you put in this hard work, it's not the hardest work if you've done. You can go harder. Like
Right.
you can still be hitting the barrier. So like it's like yeah, you can think like you've done enough. You can think you're awesome. You're one of the best in the scene, but it's like you have to like give yourself some kind of like humbleness to like you have to give yourself some kind of humbleness to like keep taking this serious, if that makes any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like because like I feel like when you get too like full of yourself or like or if you feel like oh I'm dope enough, like don't worry about it, like I got this and that, like not too like focused or cautious about it. That's why I feel like you're fucking up. That's when like I feel like people will catch you slipping.
Yeah. When you get too complacent. Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
there you go. That's the word, complacent, too comfortable.
Yeah.
So like when you're too comfortable or too complacent, like that's where like you'll catch people catch you slipping and also you're not gonna be doing your best. So it's like that's like my that's how I feel like I'm in the Jersey scene right now. I do appreciate the love and support I get from people. Like it always feels I always feel grateful for it. But it's like I feel like I'm not even close to it. Like I'm like one of the best artists I want to work with that's from Jersey, and I know it's gonna be a hard time to get to him. Makami.
Ah, yeah. Nah, but it's you might be closer to that than you think, man. You've been building this shit brick by brick.
I feel you, man,
You
but
know?
like that's one dude I really want to work to, but like he's very hard to get to, man. And as he should, man. Like he's worked his ass off for years for it.
Right.
So it's like I feel like if I can get to mock status or maybe like who else is up there as like a producer for mock like preservation or alchemist,
Yeah.
that's when I could be like all right, we like like we could chill for like a week right now.
Yeah. We hit it. Yeah, no, we hit a level for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, like we hit our status, but like we can't stop, we got to keep going, we got to keep setting that standard. But I want to get to mock really bad, bro. Like that's one artist I really want to work with. Like I could like that's on my bucket list.
Yeah, and yeah, no, like like I mean it when I say that I do think you're closer than you think you are at this point. Like it's like people are starting to pay attention. You were just on the Maxo album that just came out.
Yeah,
Maybe like
that was a big surprise.
yeah, no, like you and Roper did your thing on there, and like like you're in the vicinity of people with very large platforms, and I think like just like it's like one or two more big moves like that, and people are going to be knocking on your door. Like you've got, like, I can't think of a single person who's making shit that sounds like what you do right now. Like there's a lot of
I appreciate that. Thank you.
yeah, nah, bro. There's a lot of scuzzy experimental shit going on, and it's all great, but like none that sounds like what you do. Like I can't think of a single person making shit that sounds like Omi One, or like even or just like making things like the Mewtwo tape that you and Roper made. Like it's like
That was a fun one.
there's like such a, like, you got such a unique sensibility that I think people like once more people hear about it, like it's gonna be a wrap.
Yeah, I feel that. That was actually one of my favorite tapes, the Mewtwo tape, because that was like our first time me and Roper were working from coast to coast. He was living in LA for a year when that happened.
Right.
So we were going back and forth, like sending files. It's like, does this sound good? Does that sound good? And then like when it came to like recording Sharif, when he came back after the year, we were recording Sharif for the tape. And it was funny because Sharif was just supposed to do one song, the first song.
Right.
And Sharif just ended up doing like the other five. And then when it came to the mixing process of that, me and Roper were talking about like we should try to make Sharif sound them like for each song, he progressively sounds like he's getting closer to outer space. So like that's why like on certain like when you go down like to like maybe like the last song, his voice sounds crazy as hell. Like it just sounds like it's like a lot of reverb, a lot of like saturation on it. So it just sounds like we threw him in fucking outer space and left him there.
Yeah, no, like that that progression was super dope.
Yeah. You know what's crazy?
What's that?
Some of the Dell beats are on there.
Really?
Yeah. There's like 2 or 3 on there that was meant to go to Dell.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I
That's
would say I can tell you one for sure was oh my god, what's the name of the second beat? I know it as 1/8. Oh my god, what's the name of it? Hold on. I got it right here. Um Change of Plans.
yeah.
That was supposed to be for Dell.
Wow. I can see it too. And like this is like Armored Mewtwo Has No Friends is such a zippy project too. It's like 16 songs, but it's all done in 15 minutes. Like it's a pretty zigzaggy project. But like like once again, like there's nobody making crazy shit like that. And I think like that's like the thing. Like your sensibility and Oso's ear for all of that, and like the way he raps through all of it, and like how much he's leveled up between his work with Roper and with you, and like y'all are really poised for something. Like it's been coming, but like more people are gonna start paying attention, and I'm excited about that. Like we know what's coming at this point. We know what's coming.
Yeah, man. There's more to come, man. I'm not trying to stop anytime soon. One of my retirement job, I want to be a sound designer. Like I really want to like score movies. Like that's why I have so many synthesizers. Like I want to be like the next Hans Zimmer.
Yeah, nah, Hans Zimmer, Giorgio Moroder, fucking
Yeah,
Daft Punk, all that shit.
that's what I'm saying. So it's like this is not gonna be the end of it. So it's like it's literally just scratching the surface. Like I just cracked the first eggshell off of like a dragon egg.
Yeah, nah, and then eventually you'll get to the center and it's gonna be beautiful. Where do you see yourself in all of this? Like, where do you see yourself as like a Jersey representative during this moment right now? Like, what do you bring to this that nobody else does?
I kind of want to say like fun and finesse.
There you
Really,
go.
you know, it's just like it's one of those things where it's like, you know, they say you don't work hard if you do something you love. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it's just like, you know, we go in with the mindset that like, yo, we're putting in work. You know what I mean? But it's just like at the end of the day, we still have a mad fun doing it because once it comes out fire, like you know, the way we want it, we're just sitting there like giggity, you know, like
Heard that.
you know, and it's fun. Like it's weird. Like sometimes the bag feels like a supervillain, sometimes the bag feels like a superhero. You know,
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah. No, like you're like an anti-hero, like right in the middle. You know,
yeah,
like not quite good, not quite bad, and like that. You know, like that's reflected in like the and like I love that you said fun and finesse because like it's reflected in the cover. It's reflected in just like the general like aesthetic of the project and just like the bars you bring here, like just like the shit you're rapping about on Omi One, like just like all the different things you reference and like it's like it's fun, you know, like like it doesn't like y'all shit doesn't take itself too seriously. Like
yeah,
you know, like there's skill and craft behind it, but it's not like solemn and depressing and like and just like look at how you know like it's just like it's skillful but it's loose and
Yeah,
that's not an
yeah.
easy thing to do, you know.
Like
Um,
one of my favorite bars he says is if you a fiend, you a fan.
there you go. See, or that type of shit. You
Like
know,
that
like
kind of
that's
bar is nuts. It's like what the fuck?
yeah, bro.
and
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 yeah.
and my bad. It's also because you know we watch a lot of movies. You know, we grew up with watching a lot of crazy stuff. So it's like you know, going into these projects too, it's just like I don't know. I like when they feel cinematic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like it's like its own little world, you know. Like
Yeah,
each project is its own little world, and
yeah,
and like that's important because people want to come back and visit, you know.
absolutely.
um, and yeah, I think that's definitely part of what you bring, like between like that and like Hast Caviar in particular. Like those two are like very distinct worlds that you want to come back and I want to come back and visit. For now, I'm gonna ask the last question, which
okay.
is if your life was a movie, drive by, what would it be about?
Sheesh. If my life was a movie, what it would be
Yeah.
about? Um, when you ask that question, it could be like anything, or is it like, are we comparing it to like a movie that's already out?
It could be it could be whatever you want it to be. However you take that.
It would be like Blade Runner, bro.
Wow.
Yeah, I really love sci-fi, and the way Blade Runner is like shot and filmed, it's like for me, it's the perfect sci-fi movie.
Mm.
Like it's gritty, it's grimy, you know, it's nerdy at the same time too. But I would say Blade Runner. And then it's got like a lot of synthesizer vibes too. That's why I like it too.
Big time. So now I gotta ask, what's your favorite ending to Blade Runner? Do you have a favorite ending to Blade? Because there's like 8 different endings.
Yeah, you're right. So damn, that's tough. I'm gonna have to say I don't know. Just because I know what you're talking about. I've seen those 8 different endings, and it's like every time I've watched it, I'm just like, I don't know which one I like more, or like I don't know which one I hate more, or I don't know. Like, so it's tough. I would say I don't know, to be honest.
Yeah, I get it. The only reason I ask is because there's the three I always remember are the one. There's like the original ending where it's implied that that Deckard's a replicant. There's the one where it's like all
That's
but
yeah.
confirmed that he's a replicant, and then there's the one where he and what's her face just like go off to some like cottage in the forest or some shit.
So all right, I would say that's my least favorite one, the
Yeah,
cottage one.
yeah, me too.
Like the first two you said like because the first two make sense but like the cottage one is like when I saw that one I was like okay I get it like but it's like this is the least like entertaining one. But
Yeah,
yeah man that movie That movie's really awesome, dude. Like, I love it as much as Dune. That's how much I love that movie.
Wow.
Like, yeah, and I know a lot of people like have their opinions on Blade Runner.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but I love it as much as Dune. Like Dune is up there for me too. But
Yeah, nah. I mean, like we've talked about this. Like Blade Runner is one of my favorite movies of all time. I like it more than I like Dune personally.
that's crazy.
I don't know, man. It's a special one to me. Just like the whole, just the whole aesthetic, the score, the cinematography, the Rucker Hauer speech at the end, right before he dies, holding the pigeon. Like, I don't know, man. Like you can't really get crazier than that to me. Like
Yeah,
I would almost call it untouchable. It's one of those for me.
it's very untouchable, man. Because it's like I feel like I don't know. Do you get like cyberpunk vibes from Blade Runner?
Yeah, definitely.
Like that's what I'm saying. Like I feel like Blade Runner was like the originator of that kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Like of just like futuristic sci-fi, like shit could get like grimy, almost like how when like Samurai Jack got stuck in the future.
Yeah, and yeah, no, so much of Samurai Jack was inspired by Blade Runner.
Yeah,
Like
see,
yeah, big time. Like I think like cyberpunk was a thing before that, but I think it kind of helped solidify it and push it more into the mainstream and make that like a thing that people were pulling from because like a lot of those concepts and those images are just like like all that shit's been picked clean at this point.
yeah,
Like to the point where if somebody who's a little younger than us watched Blade Runner for the first time, they'd be like, "Oh, like this is just like this, and this," and it's like, well, all of that wouldn't exist without this. So,
yeah, exactly. You
like,
see, that's how I feel about Dune when it comes to like Star Wars, Star Trek, and shit like that. Like
right,
if there wasn't Dune, you wouldn't have all this other shit.
right, yeah, no, and you're like, it'll always get its flowers for that, but I just like Blade Runner more.
That's
I always
crazy.
have. I always have.
The thing is, like, I would say I like Dune more, but it's like they're neck and neck for me. But like, I'm just
Mhm.
biased. I love Dune so much. Like, I read the book like when I was a kid. I actually rereading it now. Um, and my dad got me into that actually. Dune.
Mhm.
Remember that? That was another one of those movies where I was hiding behind the couch
Right.
and just like watching it without nobody knowing me in the living room.
Yeah, no, just young as hell watching Sting do his thing and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude,
Yeah.
that was definitely like, yeah, man. That's why I'm a movie buff, man. It's like I literally just stay up watching movies. Like, I'll tell you this, I've done this a few times in my life, and I don't recommend doing it. I've probably watched maybe 5 or 6 movies in one night.
Wow, nah.
Yeah, of just
Not
like
even for me, man.
yeah, I remember one time I told that like I came into work the next day like why are you so tired and I was like I just watched like 6 movies last night like what are you doing up that late? And it's like
6 movies in a row at night is pretty wild.
it is wild. That's what I'm saying. I've only done that a few times in my life. I've never done it like like in a week straight or something. But it's like
Mhm.
every once in a while, I'm just like I'm gonna stay up and I'm gonna watch 6 movies right now.
Oh, so if your life was a movie, what would it be about?
I think if my life was a movie, it might be a reflection of like uh GTA. Like
Yeah, yeah, straight up.
it's like if they turn GTA into a movie, it might be my life. Like not like with the super intense stuff, but like as far
Right.
as just like I don't know, sometimes every day I feel like, I got side missions and then I got main missions, but that's just the life of an entrepreneur really. So
Oh,
so
hell yeah.
so that's what it is that like I'm self-employed, so it's like I'm always trying to do the next move,
I
put
heard that, bro.
put my
Preaching to
craft
the
in different places,
preaching to the choir right here, son. I
hell
get it.
yeah,
So,
there's never a dull moment.
right, never a dull moment. So, would it be top down GTA or like third person GTA? See,
That's a
like,
good one. Which one are you gonna go with? If you do top down, you got to do Chinatown Wars.
Nah, but he said or first person.
Or first person. Yeah, which first person?
Or no, I said third person, like how all the other games are.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
I think the perspective of third person would be hilarious. Honestly.
Cheat codes, yeah, nah. I miss I miss cheat codes, if for no other reason than like GTA cheat codes are the best cheat codes ever.
Oh, absolutely.
You know? Yeah. Like I wish they were a thing in hopefully whenever they put out GTA 6, like they bring cheat codes back, because I don't think they were in 5. But either way, like
they were, but they kept it super light. Like
I think if you did do cheat codes, because I did cheat codes in 5, but like it would kind of like, I don't think it's something like about your save. It would make your save all wonky or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You couldn't win anything, or like
you know how like in Pokemon, and like when they like detect like a cheat, like a generated like Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like you'll automatically get disqualified. Like, so it's kind of like that. Like it'll show up on like their scanners.
Yeah, nah, there's a bunch of games that do stuff like that, like even back then and like now, because like with mods and shit, like if they notice that you're like modding things, like they'll like install like fail safes in the game where like if they detect a mod, like your game won't save, or like it'll crash after a certain point. Like I that's actually kind of funny as hell to me, but like there was like another earlier game called Psychonauts. I'm not sure if either of you played it. But
I've heard of it. I never played it. I've heard of it.
So like if you put cheats in, like every time you put in a cheat, there would be like the way you would know it would go off is by hearing a character say "you cheated" or something like that. and then every time you pick up a power up or like an item in the game, it'll be like, instead of like whatever it is, it'll say like, you picked up 3 cheating Cheetos, you cheat Cheeto, and like it would like just like say that a bunch of times. Like shit like that's funny to me. But I love a good cheat code, so it's also kind of like, fuck you, let me have my fun. But either way, that's a great answer.
And even with the cheat codes is like, because sometimes like that's what the side missions require. You know what I mean? It's like that extra thought to be like, all right, how the hell can I get this done real quick?
Big time, son. Thank y'all, man. This was a journey, literally and figuratively a journey, and I loved it. Just like I'm just like, as your friend, like I'm proud of y'all. Like you both have been going crazy these last couple of years, and like I said, I really do think you're at a level where like things are really about to start leveling up pretty quickly. I'm excited. I'm just excited to see. I'm excited to see the rest of the world catch up to what y'all got going on. So just like congrats, and thank you for being here, and thank you for your trust always. Like it means the world to me.
So much, bro.
All right, thank you. I really do appreciate that.
Yeah, what you doing means a lot, bro.
Hell yeah, you Dylan Green, bro.
Yeah, man.
We wouldn't let anybody else host our show but you.
Yeah.
Thank y'all, man. Yeah, like just like being there meant everything, and being able to see people come out for y'all and to celebrate the book release like that night with y'all was like that was like the perfect crossover. So just like thank you for that opportunity, and anything you need from me, like you y'all know where to find me. Like,
bro, I was flipping tables. I was like, no, we getting Dylan.
Yo, nah, man, that's
What's that, bro? We getting Dylan,
man. Thanks for listening. Shout out to y'all for making it this far, and shout out to all the Black people listening too, because y'all really impeccable. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell a friend to come through next time. 1.